Chapter 1061 Sky-High Price Law Beads. Lu Lan could no longer hide the shock in her heart, widened her beautiful eyes, and her hands were constantly shaking. 10,000 law beads. 10 points per bead, a full 2.5 million points. For Lu Lan, this is a real big deal. Lu Lan couldn't recover for a long time, and said blankly, how can there be so many? Lin Mo looked at her and said softly, do you need me to tell you how I got them? Lu Lan trembled suddenly and shook her head quickly. No, senior, you don't have to say anything, we only care about transactions and don't ask where they come from. Lin Mo tapped his fingers on the table a few times. I thought you were interested in knowing. Lu Lan realized that she had said something wrong before, and she immediately apologized to Lin Mo. Lu Lan said something wrong before, please don't blame me, senior. Lin Mo looked at her, and after a while, he smiled, it's okay, continue. Lu Lan breathed a sigh of relief. At that moment, Lin Mo seemed to have become a little scary. Even though he still looked moist as jade, like a handsome young man, Lu Lan felt that Lin Mo was a little scary. That kind of invisible aura made her feel a little breathless. Now, with Lin Mo's words, this depression disappeared. Lu Lan secretly warned herself that she should never ask what she shouldn't ask in the future, and she must take care of her mouth. Lu Lan completed the transaction as quickly as possible, showing the most beautiful smile as much as possible. Senior Lin, the transaction has been completed, do you have any other transactions? Lin Mo nodded, yes, but I don't know if you can make the decision. Lu Lan took a deep breath, as long as it doesn't exceed 5 million points, I can make the decision. But if senior needs it, Lu Lan can also find a manager to serve senior. Lin Mo shook his head, no need for now, estimate a price for it. Lin Mo took out the law bead he got from the weird giant spirit. The enormous bead of law made Lu Lan's breathing quicken. Senior, this is. Lu Lan had never seen this item before and was somewhat uncertain. Lin Mo Yu said, it's just a bead of law, only a bit larger. Estimate a price for it. Lu Lan used a detection spell, and the answer it provided was simply, bead of law. But the bead of law before her clearly couldn't be priced as an ordinary bead of law. Detection spells aren't omnipotent, often, they can't provide accurate information. Lu Lan was now undecided and unable to give an accurate price. She said, Senior, how about I have the manager estimate the price? She was becoming increasingly polite to Lin Mo Yu. As someone working in the exchange center's trading room, she had seen many people. She knew that some people couldn't be judged solely by their apparent cultivation level. Lin Mo Yu seemed to be one of those people. Lin Mo Yu nodded, that's fine. Lu Lan immediately sent a message, and just seconds later, the trading room door opened, and a person walked in. The person who entered was a woman. Lin Mo Yu saw her information. Her name was Yu Zhu, a true god of the 9th order. Yu Zhu was true to her name, with skin like jade and a figure like bamboo. Her beauty was exceptional, surpassing even Lu Lan by several degrees. Among all the women Lin Mo Yu had seen, only a few could compare. His own sister, wife, Ji Yu Qingshan, and Lilian. Yu Zhu exuded a mature charm. After entering the trading room, she bowed slightly to Lin Mo Yu. Yu Zhu greets you, Mr. She addressed Lin Mo Yu as Mr., which was a respectful term. After all, Lin Mo Yu's cultivation level was lower than hers, but he was a guest of the trading center. Calling him junior brother might make him uncomfortable. So, addressing him as Mr. was most appropriate. Lin Mo Yu didn't care much about titles and directly said, greetings, Senior Yu Zhu. Please estimate the price for this. From Lin Mo Yu's brief words, Yu Zhu sensed that Lin Mo Yu wasn't the type to beat around the bush. With this type of person, the more direct you were, the better. Immediately, she stopped being polite and looked directly at the bead of law, while casting a detection spell. Yu Zhu's knowledge was far superior to Lu Lan's, and she immediately recognized the bead of law's extraordinary nature, saying, this bead of law comes from a strange gigant. She immediately stated the origin of the bead of law, proving her extensive knowledge. Then, she closed her eyes, carefully sensed it, and continued, this strange gigant mutated and evolved from a strange creature into a strange gigant. Its existence has exceeded 100,000 years, and it's only a hair's breadth away from the God King realm. This kind of bead of law is quite useful for refining artifacts. Combined with some good materials, it can be used to refine God King realm magical treasures, but... At this point, she paused slightly, glancing at Lin Mo Yu almost imperceptibly. Seeing that Lin Moyu didn't have any reaction, Yu Zhu felt conflicted, wondering if she should say what she was about to say. From the moment she entered the trading room and saw Lin Moyu, she felt that Lin Moyu was unusual. She had seen too many people and was good at judging them. Although Lin Moyu appeared to be only a true god of the first order, she believed that Lin Moyu's true strength was definitely more than that. Lin Moyu should be a genius capable of cross-level challenges. At this moment, she decided to follow her heart and speak the truth. However, using this kind of bead of law for refining artifacts is a waste of resources. Its greatest use is to create a law star or to nurture the spirit of a magical treasure. Therefore, my estimated price for this bead of law is 5 million points. Hearing this, Lu Lan immediately gasped. This enormous bead of law was actually so valuable. That was 5 million points. For many true God realm cultivators, 5 million points was simply an astronomical figure. Even some god kings couldn't come up with 5 million points. And Lin Moyu, through just one transaction, had received a total of 7.9 million points. Lin Moyu had long known that this bead of law was extraordinary and that it could be worth 5 million points, which was normal. Lin Moyu nodded, okay, let's trade at this price. Mr. is decisive. Yu Zhu chuckled and immediately put away the bead of law, quickly completing the transaction. She said to Lin Moyu with a smile, Mr.'s total transaction value in the trading center has exceeded 5 million points, making you a VIP of our trading center. We will open up some hidden trading items to you. If Mr. is interested, you can check them out at the trading counter later. At the same time, we also provide door-to-door service for Mr. If Mr. is interested in something, we will directly send someone to deliver it to Mr.'s hands. Hidden items. Lin Moyu chuckled inwardly, realizing there were such rules. Indeed, he still knew too little. Perhaps if the transaction amount increased in the future, he could get even greater benefits. The trading center was also a small world, just like the human race's permission levels, which came step by step. Lin Moyu wasn't in a hurry. After the transaction was completed and he confirmed that the points had been credited, he used the teleportation array in the trading room to leave. After he left, Yu Zhu said to Lu Lan, you did well this time. Lu Lan giggled, thank you for the praise, Sister Yu Zhu. Yu Zhu frowned, as if thinking of something, why does the name Lin Moyu sound so familiar? Lu Lan also felt somewhat familiar. After thinking for a moment, she suddenly exclaimed, the new top name on the potential dragon list. First 1062. Chapters. Don't think I'm being polite, I can let you go. In the past few days, the most famous person in the entire Vermilion Bird Starfield was naturally Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu was first taken away by the criminal investigation team, and his name spread throughout the Vermilion Bird Starfield at once. Due to the existence of the Human Emperor Network, the speed of information dissemination was extremely fast. In less than half a day, everyone knew about Lin Moyu and Jiyu Qingshan. Being taken away by the criminal investigation team couldn't be a good thing, it was easy to imagine. But soon, the potential list suddenly changed. Lin Moyu descended almost like an air raid, directly landing at the top of the potential list. The potential list had another name among many geniuses, the genius list. Those who could be on the potential list were all geniuses. And the rankings within it were the rankings of the degree of genius. Lin Moyu's sudden drop onto the potential list surprised many people. The potential list had a total of 100 people. Lin Moyu was ranked first, so the original 100th place could only leave the list in disappointment. Most importantly, Lin Moyu's ability to be on the potential list meant that he was safe and sound. The matter of the criminal investigation team taking him away was just a misunderstanding. Then, someone saw the names of Lin Moyu and Jiyu Qingshan on the contribution list. The two were listed 8th and 9th, respectively, one after the other. This further illustrated that the two not only had no faults but also had merit. The contribution list was not something anyone could get on casually, one had to do something that contributed to the human race to have a chance to be on the contribution list. At this time, new news came out, saying that Lin Moyu's contribution came from the task of cleaning the 100,182 non-life star system. Some said that Lin Moyu had completed the thorough cleaning of the star system and had laid down the rejuvenation star array. Many people immediately rushed to the Vermilion Bird 100,182 non-life star system to check and found that it was indeed the case. The star system, which was originally filled with chaotic obsessions and strange creatures, had now become peaceful and serene. The star system had entered the process of self-repair and would return to being a star system suitable for living beings with enough time. Although the human race had many life star systems, it was always good to have one more. Otherwise, the human race would not have released these tasks for everyone to do. Some would say, wouldn't it be faster and better for a god Venerable to restore the star system? While that was true, it would be difficult for the young people of the human race to experience the suffering brought about by war. The higher-ups of the human race wanted the young people to see what the human race had experienced. What have those once intact, beautiful, and prosperous star systems become? This is both an encouragement and a stimulus. It's just that these tasks are very, very difficult, and ordinary people simply cannot complete them. Some people even think that it's impossible for anyone to complete them. Now Lin Moyu has done it, and he very clearly tells everyone that the task can be done and the rewards can be obtained. Lin Moyu's fame is also rapidly growing amidst the changes of doubt and recognition, expanding throughout the entire Suzaku Star territory. Inside the No. 10-Star Trading Center, Lin Moyu had been standing in front of the trading counter for a long time. After leaving the trading room, he returned to the trading counter, searching for the items he needed. Since he had chosen to go to the battlefield, the first thing Lin Moyu thought of was how to save his life. What he was thinking about was how to save his life under the hands of a god king. Not a rookie god king like Lu Hong, but at least under god kings like the Black Eagle King and the Bat King. Although he had the War King Tower, his chances of survival greatly increased. But God Kings also had ways to deal with the War King Tower, like Lu Hong's great net magic weapon, which almost made him suffer. So Lin Moyu decided to take the offensive as a defense. He wanted to see if he could buy some God King Realm corpses, even if they were just remains. As long as he could buy a God King Realm 9th Order corpse remain, then he would really not have to fear anyone in the God King Realm. However, God King Realm corpse remains were not easily obtained. Lin Moyu searched for a long time but couldn't find any. In the item list he could see, there were some items that were originally hidden. These items were even rarer, and Lin Moyu saw God King Realm items among them. For example, a Burning Sky Sword, containing the Burning Sky Flame Law, belonged to the upper class of God King Realm magic weapons, and was priced at 6 million points. The price was high enough, but unfortunately it was useless to Lin Moyu, otherwise Lin Moyu would not be stingy to buy it. Points were just numbers, and Lin Moyu had no intention of saving them. He couldn't find God King Realm corpse remains, but only saw some true God Realm alien remains, which could be used for alchemy and weapon refining, but Lin Moyu was not very interested. After looking for a long time, Lin Moyu now had a huge amount of 8.77 million points, but he couldn't spend a single point. The trading center on star number 10 doesn't have it. I wonder if the trading centers on other star systems will have it. As far as he knew, different star systems not only had different tasks, but the items in the trading centers also varied. Lin Moyu thought about going to other high-level star systems to see if he could gain anything. If that didn't work, he would have to search carefully in the stalls. If he still couldn't find it, Lin Moyu also thought of another way, which was to shamelessly ask Zhu Tian. Anyway, he had made up his mind that he must get a life-saving charm before going to the battlefield. The battlefield was too dangerous. While allowing himself to grow and complete tasks, saving his life was always the first priority. If he lost his life, he would lose everything. Lin Moyu wandered around the trading center for a whole day, carefully looking at every stall, but still couldn't find the remains of a God King Realm powerhouse. With a hint of disappointment, Lin Moyu left the trading center. Outside the trading center, there was still a bustling crowd of people coming and going. Lin Moyu looked over, and the old man from before was no longer there, his whereabouts unknown. For some reason, Lin Moyu had a feeling that the old man seemed to be waiting for him on purpose. This inexplicable feeling made him feel strange. Perhaps, I'm just overthinking it. Lin Moyu shook his head slightly and chuckled to himself. Gradually, Lin Moyu discovered some new problems. Many people were looking at him, and gazes were gathering on him, and there were also slight sounds in his ears. This is Lin Moyu. Could it be the same name? The first on the potential ranking is only a true god first order, is that possible? The potential ranking is not ranked according to cultivation level, maybe his potential is enough. But a true god realm perfectly completing the number 100,182 star system mission, it seems unlikely. Various voices entered his ears, and Lin Moyu felt more and more strange. How did he suddenly become famous? How did so many people recognize him? Could it be because of the potential ranking? But what was going on with that mission? Why did it seem like everyone knew about it? Lin Moyu was a little dazed and very unaccustomed to it. Lin Moyu. At this moment, a sudden roar rang out. Lin Moyu turned his head to look and immediately showed an embarrassed expression. Not far away, Chu Shang was walking over valiantly. The aura of the God King realm surged, rushing straight into the sky. The people around him unconsciously took a few steps back, giving way to him. Chu Shang had a fierce look on his face. If you didn't know better, you would think he was here to seek revenge. Lin Moyu bowed to Chu Shang. Greetings, Senior Chu. Chu Shang snorted angrily. Stinky brat, don't think that I'll let you off just because you're polite now. Let me tell you, apologies are useless. I'm going to teach you a good lesson today, teach you what it means to respect the old. Chapter 1063. The power of belief, useless when less, harmful when more. Chu Shang cursed and dragged Lin Moyu away. Lin Moyu smiled wryly and helplessly. How could he have forgotten that Chu Shang and Zhuang Bai were in the number 10 star system? And it was such a coincidence that he ran into them. Lin Moyu remembered Chu Shang's man-eating look in the Human Emperor arena. As a result, he was instantly killed twice by himself, and he was about to explode with anger at the time. Now that Chu Shang had caught him in reality, he would probably be taught a lesson. Lin Moyu actually understood that Chu Shang had no malice. He looked fierce, but he was not a bad person. Chu Shang took Lin Moyu and left by teleportation array. The two came to a quiet mountain forest, where they could hear the sound of rushing water in the distance. The environment here was beautiful, with birds singing and flowers fragrant, and a quiet path led to the depths of the forest. Lin Moyu saw that the flowers and plants on both sides of the path had obviously been carefully trimmed, staggered and beautiful. At the deepest part of the path, he could vaguely see a courtyard. This reminded Lin Moyu of the White God courtyard in the small world, and the two had the same effect. Lin Moyu looked at Chu Shang with a strange expression. Senior Chu, do you live here? Chu Shang had a fierce look on his face and a fiery personality, which was out of tune with the current environment. Chu Shang guessed what Lin Moyu was thinking, and his face changed suddenly. What, does it not look like it? Lin Moyu shook his head. I didn't expect Senior Chu's heart to be so soft. Soft my ass, would I be willing to live in this ghostly place where there is nowhere to stay? You have to be careful when walking, for fear of stepping on the flowers and plants here. Chu Shang shouted loudly, seemingly disdaining this place. Lin Moyu smiled dumbly, which seemed to fit Chu Shang's appearance. Chu fool, you have shit in your mouth again. The voice sounded leisurely, neither fast nor slow. Lin Moyu knew at once that this was Zhuang Bai's voice. Chu Shang snorted, Old Zhuang, Lin Moyu is here. At the end of the path, Zhuang Bai's figure appeared. Lin Moyu immediately bowed to Zhuang Bai. Greetings, Senior Zhuang. Zhuang Bai had a jade-like face and a gentle smile. Little friend Lin, please come into the courtyard for a chat and a drink. Chu Shang said, just drink, why so much red tape, we are not from the Azure Dragon Star territory. Saying that, he had already strode inside, not forgetting to add, you brat, don't even think about escaping. Lin Mo smiled slightly and followed him. The path through the woods wasn't long. Stepping into the forest, a breath of fresh air rushed towards him, making Lin Mo feel refreshed, sweeping away the slight annoyance and fatigue in his heart. Dappled light shone through the trees, landing on him, warm and comfortable. The chirping of birds could be heard, and nests could be seen in the branches of the trees. Everything here exuded beauty, and his heart instantly became peaceful. Zhuang Bai stood in front of the courtyard, appearing even more refined than when he was seen in the arena. A word suddenly popped into Lin Mo's mind, scholar. He found that using this word to describe Zhuang Bai was very fitting. He and Chu Shang seemed to be two extremes, yet they were the closest of friends. The world is such a strange place. The layout of the small courtyard was simple, yet very elegant, perfectly matching Zhuang Bai's personality. After passing through the small courtyard, the sound of water became more obvious, and a waterfall could be seen not far away. The rushing mountain water poured down from the waterfall. It couldn't be said to be spectacular, but it had a unique charm. On the stone table behind the courtyard, there were a few simple dishes and a pot of fine wine. Chu Shang didn't stand on ceremony and sat down boldly. Zhuang Bai waved his hand and said, Little friend Lin, please sit. Chu Shang shouted, "Why be so polite? Drinking doesn't require so much fuss, just drink until you're happy." As he spoke, he poured himself a cup and drank it on his own. Zhuangbai smiled wryly, "Pay him no mind, this guy is just a boor." Lin Mo's heart stirred, and he took out the wine gourd that Ren Chang had given him. "Senior Chu, let this wine be my apology to you." Zhuangbai shook his head, "The arena is a place for victory and defeat, there's no need for apologies." Chu Shang heard that it was wine, reached out and grabbed the wine gourd. "That's a private matter between him and me, you stay out of it." Zhuangbai sighed, "What am I going to do with you?" Chu Shang snorted, "What about me? I call this being quick to take revenge and not suffer any losses." Saying that, he took a big gulp from the wine gourd and exhaled a long breath. "The wine is not bad, although it's a bit weak, it's still drinkable. For the sake of the wine, I'll forgive you this time and not hold it against you." Lin Mo certainly knew that Chu Shang hadn't really blamed him, he just seemed fierce. Zhuangbai said with a smile, "Little friend Lin has become quite famous recently." Hearing this, Lin Mo also felt a headache. "Alas, I don't know what to do." Chu Shang muttered to the side, "Isn't it simple? Just hide your information and no one will know who you are." Zhuangbai also smiled and said, "That's a good method, and it's extremely simple. Just hide your information and others will naturally not know who you are. But the fear is that your appearance has already been remembered by many people, and some will still recognize you." Chu Shang interjected again, "Serves him right. Who told him to become the number one on the potential list? If you can become number one, you will naturally be watched." Lin Mo said with a wry smile, "I didn't want to. It's the Human Emperor Network's doing, you don't get to decide. Even if others want to, they can't get on it," Chu Shang said unhappily. Zhuangbai glared at him, "Just drink your wine and talk less." Chu Shang said "Oh," and obediently started drinking. Lin Mo found these two people very interesting. Zhuangbai said, "Little friend Lin can also prepare a magic weapon to change your appearance, and with hidden information, it will be difficult for others to recognize you. Indeed, in this way, it would be foolproof." Zhuangbai changed the subject, "However, being recognized is not necessarily a bad thing, it may be a good thing." Lin Mo was slightly stunned, "Please enlighten me, senior." Zhuangbai said, "Has little friend Lin ever heard of the power of faith?" Lin Mo nodded, "I've heard of it, one of the fundamental powers of the human race." Not only had he heard of it, but he also possessed the power of faith. Even when he arrived in the great world, the power of faith from the small world had never been cut off. The power of faith has a wide range of uses, but so far, he doesn't know how to use it. Zhuangbai said, "The greater your reputation, the more the power of faith will gradually form. The power of faith has a great effect, especially when you break through to God Venerable, the power of faith can give you a push." Hearing this, Lin Mo's heart trembled slightly. Senior Zhuang means, "Let me be high profile, so as to gather the power of faith." Zhuangbai smiled, "Almost, people who have become the top few on the potential list have always used this to gather the power of faith. Using the power of faith can make their cultivation speed faster and make breakthroughs easier in the future." Chu Shang interjected again, "That also depends on how much power of faith you can gather. Too little is useless, too much is troublesome, and too much is harmful." Lin Mo was slightly stunned, "Too much power of faith is harmful?" Zhuangbai explained, "The power of faith is the power of all beings, with too many impurities, so too much will cause some problems. Is there a solution? Since the power of faith can become one of the fundamental powers of the human race, it has advantages and disadvantages. If there are disadvantages, there will naturally be solutions." Zhuangbai chuckled, "There are many solutions, you can purify and refine it yourself, or you can use the Dragon Soul Crystal of the Dragon Clan." Chapter 1064. Striving for the top 3 on the list. Zhuangbai chatted with Lin Mo for a long time, the general idea being to tell Lin Mo that the power of faith is very useful, very useful. He should make good use of his identity as the number one on the potential list and collect the power of faith as much as possible. Although the power of faith contains a lot of impurities, it needs to be purified and refined before it can be truly used by him. But there are many solutions. Lin Mo himself possessed the 9-colored Dragon Soul Crystal, so impurities were not a problem for Lin Mo. But when Lin Mo asked about how to use it, Zhuangbai didn't say. Not because he didn't want to say, but because he couldn't say. The power of faith is like a law, it needs to be personally comprehended, and it is difficult to describe clearly in words. Lin Mo expressed his understanding of this. Moreover, there was still something missing for using the power of faith. And this thing would have to wait until level 5 permission to obtain. So for Lin Mo now, he only needed to accumulate it and didn't need to worry too much about other things. Lin Mo had only had contact with Zhuangbai in the arena, and in fact, the two had no deep friendship. But strangely, the two hit it off at first sight and became good friends in the blink of an eye. Although they hadn't reached the point where they could talk about everything, their relationship was already good. Zhuangbai was gentle and refined, spoke appropriately, and had no airs. On the contrary, Zhuangbai admired Lin Mo's ability to fight beyond his level. When he asked why Lin Mo was taken away by the criminal investigation team, Lin Mo didn't hide anything and told him everything. Lin Mo directly admitted to killing Le 1/4 Hong, which shocked Zhuangbai. Chu Shang, who was on the side, spat out a mouthful of wine and stared blankly at Lin Mo. Lin boy, are you saying that you killed a god king at the first level of true god? Lin Mo was very modest, he was just the weakest god king, unable to even materialize his soul, and his law domain was also very poor. Chu Shang murmured, but no matter what, that was a god king. I've heard of true gods at the 9th level fighting across realms and killing god kings. I've never heard of a true god at the first level being able to kill a god king. You kid are simply a pervert. No, I have to fight you now. If I don't fight now, I'm afraid I really won't be able to beat you in the future. If Lin Mo could maintain his current ability to fight beyond his level, when Lin Mo achieved God King, he would probably be directly invincible in the God King realm. Zhuangbai said unhappily, drink your wine, don't show off here. A person who has lived for thousands of years is still like a child, aren't you ashamed? Chu Shang took a big gulp of wine, for the sake of Lin boy, I won't bother with you today. Lin Mo smiled wryly, he had no face at all, this Chu Shang was just finding an excuse for himself. In the arena, Lin Mo Yu had already demonstrated his formidable strength. He could fight to a draw with a rank 9 true god. However, the arena and the real world are always somewhat different. In the real world, one can use magic treasures, but not in the arena. A good magic treasure can often determine the outcome of an entire battle. He guessed that Lin Mo Yu might possess some very powerful magic treasures, but he wouldn't ask. This was Lin Mo Yu's privacy, and asking too much would affect their relationship. Zhuangbai said, Brother Lin, what are your plans next? Lin Mo Yu said, I plan to go to the battlefield and do some battlefield missions. Zhuangbai stared blankly at Lin Mo Yu, are you really determined to go to the battlefield? The battlefield is not like here, it's very dangerous. Chu Shang said in a muffled voice, dangerous my ass. With his strength, as long as he operates on the fringes and doesn't court death in other areas, he won't die at all. Think about it, what would be the reaction of a lion entering a flock of sheep? Zhuangbai said unhappily, do you think little friend Lin is as useless as you, only knowing how to bully those weaker than yourself? Lin Mo Yu was a little embarrassed. That was exactly what he was thinking. But even if he only stayed in the marginal areas of the battlefield, there would occasionally be divine kings, and there would still be danger. Following Lin Mo Yu's words, Zhuangbai continued, it's good to go to the battlefield. Although battlefield missions are dangerous, the rewards are generous, far beyond what the missions in the mission center can compare to. Moreover, doing battlefield missions can accumulate contribution points, and the ranking on the contribution A is also very important. Many people admire the strong individuals at the top of the contribution A. Whether it was the potential I or the contribution A, for Lin Mo Yu, the biggest effect at present was to attract the attention of others and gather the power of faith. Lin Mo Yu thought that if he could get first place on the potential I, contribution A, and combat power A, he might be able to collect a large amount of the power of faith. The combat power A evaluates true combat power. The person currently ranked first on the combat power A is a rank 4 divine king named Shaolin. Lin Mo Yu guessed that Shaolin probably had a combat power of at least rank 7 or even rank 8 divine king. If he wanted to reach the top of the combat power A, he needed to reach the combat power of a rank 9 divine king to be safe. Judging from the current situation, that meant he had to reach the divine king realm. As long as he could reach the divine king realm, he would be confident in contending with a rank 9 divine king. At the same time, he had to meet one condition, which was that his permission level could not be raised to rank 5. If he were to raise it to rank 5, he would leave the ranking list of the Vermilion Bird Starfield and enter the ranking list of the entire 4 great starfields of the human race. That would not be ideal. Lin Moyu pondered for a while and already had an answer in his mind. It was not appropriate to raise his permission level too quickly. Cultivation and rites had to be improved synchronously. When Zhuangbai saw Lin Moyu's expression, he knew that he had understood and smiled. Do you know what to do now? Lin Moyu nodded. Thank you for your guidance, Senior Zhuang. Zhuangbai said, the current number 1 on the combat power A, Xiao Lin, could have been promoted to level 5 permission long ago, but in order to gather more power of faith, he has been suppressing his permission level. The more power of faith, the easier the road ahead will be, making it easier to advance to Divine Sovereign. However, similarly, too much power of faith will bring a lot of impurities that need to be purified. Chu Shang said, it is said that that guy obtained a dragon soul crystal from the dragon clan some years ago, and is now excitedly refining the power of faith. Chu Shang's words carried a hint of disdain, as if he looked down on Xiaolin's actions. Zhuangbai smiled, don't pay attention to him, this guy and Xiaolin don't get along. The paths they chose are different. Big Chu's strength cannot borrow the power of faith, so he raised his permission level early and left the E. At that time, he and Xiaolin were evenly matched in combat power. Chu Shang snorted, if I meet that kid Xiaolin again now, I'll let him use one hand and still beat him to the ground. If the two of us hadn't left the combat power A early, he wouldn't have had a say. Chu Shang has now reached rank 8 Divine King, and he does have the ability to beat Xiaolin to a pulp. And Zhuangbai is even a rank 9 Divine King. Obviously, the two of them were also figures on the combat power A back then, and both had the ability to fight beyond their level. Lin Moyu said, I will work hard, but I won't deliberately force it. Senior Zhuang, Senior Chu, I have something I want to ask. Speak freely, Zhuangbai said. Chu Shang drank his wine, if you have something to say, just say it, don't be so polite. Lin Moyu said, where can I obtain the corpses of divine kings? I've searched the entire trading center and can't find them. Zhuangbai was a little curious, what do you want divine king corpses for? Chu Shang also asked strangely, do you have some special hobby? Lin Moyu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. This junior has a cube that requires the corpses of strong individuals as a catalyst. The stronger the corpse, the stronger the power of this junior's A cubed. Chapter 1065. Preparations before going to the battlefield. Zhuangbai understood as soon as he heard it. Lin Moyu planned to use the corpses as a trump card to protect his life on the battlefield. The battlefield is very dangerous, so it's indeed necessary to make some preparations. I didn't expect you to have such a cubed. You can't buy Divine King Realm corpses in the trading center. Divine King Realm corpses have great uses and won't circulate outside. Lin Moyu was a little disappointed. I see. I guess I was thinking too much. At this moment, a black shadow flew past, and a severed leg fell heavily on the grass. The severed leg was very fresh, still dripping with blood, and a strong bloody smell immediately spread out. The severed leg was more than 10 meters long, like a small mountain, pressing down on the ground. Lin Moyu felt the aura of the Divine King realm from the severed leg. He wasn't sure what rank Divine King it was. But it definitely wouldn't be lower than rank 5 Divine King. Zhuangbai glared at Chu Shang fiercely, if you don't fix my yard in a while, I'll break your leg. Obviously, Zhuangbai cared a lot about his yard, and his words were full of murderous intent. Chu Shang shuddered in fright and muttered, I'll fix it, I'm not afraid of anyone. Then Chu Shang looked at Lin Moyu, this is a leg of a black star beast. The strength of the black star beast is equivalent to rank 8 Divine King. I'll give it to you. Lin Moyu was shocked, Senior, I'm so embarrassed. This leg is priceless. Why don't you name a price? I don't know if I can afford it. Chu Shang waved his hand, get lost. This is just my food. I'm not so poor that I'd exchange food for money. Zhuangbai also said, take it. This guy is a glutton. He went out of his way to kill a few black star beasts some time ago. He has a lot of stock. Chu Shang nodded, a mere black star beast is nothing to me. Zhuangbai teased, I wonder who it was that was chased all over the starry sky by the black star beast king and barely managed to escape back. Don't expose people's shortcomings, Lao Zhuang, you're going too far, Chu Shang cried out angrily. Lin Moyu smiled and put away the black star beast leg, thank you, Senior Chu. Then I won't be polite. Chu Shang waved his hand, no need to be polite. When you go to the battlefield, if you're lucky enough to get good wine, remember to save some for me. Chu Shang had two great hobbies in his life, wine and food. Lin Moyu nodded. This junior will remember it. If I gain anything, I will definitely send it to you, senior. Zhuangbai reminded again, on the battlefield, there are all kinds of races. Some races have all kinds of strength A-cubed and secret techniques, which are very dangerous. You have to be careful when you go up there. You can go to the trading center to buy some soul-level defensive equipment, as well as a starlight treasure armor that can resist law attacks. This can greatly increase your safety. Zhuangbai gave a few more reminders and talked about things to pay attention to on the battlefield. Lin Moyu didn't say goodbye and leave until late at night. Using the teleportation array, he returned to the trading center. Lin Moyu really had to come to the trading center to buy some things. Having unexpectedly obtained the Black Star Beast leg, he no longer needed other Divine King Realm corpses. Zhuangbai also clearly told him that it was impossible to buy Divine King Realm corpses in the trading center, because these things had other uses and would not circulate on the market. So Lin Moyu's points could be used to buy other things. Lin Moyu had already taken a fancy to a few things before, but because he was saving points for later use, he hadn't bought them. Now he could buy them. The thing that Lin Moyu liked was called Law Crystal, which was something that was naturally born in the Great World. The Law Crystal contained pure law power, which was a good choice whether it was used for cultivation or weapon refining. However, it was not easy to understand the law through it. Its effect is far inferior to divine objects like the Law God Flower. Law crystals are also divided into several grades, ranging from Transcendent God Realm to God King Realm, and are further subdivided into different types of laws. First, look at the type of law, which echelon it belongs to. The third echelon of law crystals is the cheapest, and the first echelon is naturally the most expensive. However, the first echelon simply doesn't exist. Lin Moyu is interested in the true God King Realm law crystals, among which the third echelon of elemental types only costs 100,000 points each. If it's the second echelon of law crystals of the same level and realm will cost 10 times more. For example, the God King Realm law crystal containing the fire law that Lin Moyu is interested in costs 100,000 points. A God King Realm law crystal containing the starlight law costs 1 million points. Lin Moyu has 8.78 million points, a complete local tyrant, and doesn't feel any pain when spending money. He directly bought 10 fire law crystals, spending 1 million points. Then, he bought one each of the storm law and heavy water law crystals, spending 2 million points. He also bought one starlight law crystal, spending another 1 million points. Lin Moyu discovered that the number of law crystals was not large. After he bought the 2 storm law and heavy water law crystals, they immediately showed as out of stock. Thinking about it, with 1 million points, wouldn't it be better to comprehend in the cultivation field? Why buy law crystals and do such a thankless thing? Seeking fresh flowers Unless there is a special purpose, they would buy it. It's a pity, I couldn't find a light speed law crystal. Lin Moyu searched this place several times, but couldn't find a light speed law crystal. The light speed law is only considered niche among the human race, and very few people comprehend it. So it's normal not to have corresponding law crystals. 8.78 million points, and 4 million were used up in one go. The transaction was very smooth. Almost at the same time Lin Moyu paid the points, the corresponding law crystals appeared in the trading platform. Lin Moyu rented a mission room and summoned the elemental lich in the mission room. In the higher star system, even the cultivation room is a circle larger than those in the intermediate and lower star systems. There's even a bed inside for people to sleep and rest. But the fee is also expensive, requiring 10 points a day. 0. After Lin Moyu entered the mission room, he closed the door and then summoned the elemental lich. The mission room has a benefit, which is that no matter what happens inside, no aura will leak out. Even if Lin Moyu summoned the elemental lich, the outside world would not know. Fire Law Lich, Storm Law Lich, Heavy Water Law Lich, Starlight Law Lich, lined up and respectfully prostrated on the ground. They are extremely devout and loyal to Lin Moyu. As long as Lin Moyu gives an order, they will not hesitate to die. Taking out the law crystals he just bought, absorb them. The eyes of the 4 elemental liches collectively lit up. Although they have no thoughts or consciousness, they know that the things in front of them are of great benefit to them. The 4 elemental liches immediately came over and swallowed the corresponding law crystals into their stomachs. Among them, the fire law lich only possesses the 3rd echelon law. Lin Moyu treated them equally and bought 10 law crystals for it, without favoritism. After absorbing the law crystals, the 4 elemental liches began to evolve at the same time. Their aura is constantly strengthening, and they were already close to the true god 7th order level. At this time, they took an even bigger step, directly reaching the true god peak level. The law halo became brighter, and the power also greatly increased. With their blessing, the combat power of the Undead Legion can reach a new level. Even if he doesn't take action, the Undead Legion will face true god peak without any pressure. Although he spent 4 million points, Lin Moyu felt it was worth it. Points are meant to be spent. If they are not spent, what's the difference from a pile of numbers? Chapter 1066, Challenge from the second on the list. After making a small improvement to the elemental lich, Lin Moyu bought some more things. Lin Moyu bought a full 10 God King Realm teleportation charms. The God King Realm teleportation charm can take him to instantly break through the blockade and teleport to a place 1 million kilometers away. And he can control the direction himself. This is the best choice for saving lives on the battlefield. Many people will buy a few to prepare for emergencies. Lin Moyu is no exception. At 50,000 points each, he bought 10 in one breath, spending a full 500,000. Then he bought 10 God King Realm Divine Thunder charms, spending another 500,000 points. Each Divine Thunder charm is equivalent to a full blow from a God King 3rd order. It uses the lightning law. Although it is a 3rd tier law, its power is already not weak. It's not that Lin Moyu doesn't want to buy better ones, it's just that there aren't any. Even if there were, he might not be able to afford them. In the blink of an eye, 8.78 million points have been used up by 5 million. Lin, 960, Moyu couldn't help but sigh. The points look like a lot, but when you really use them, they are still not enough. He never thought that others would buy God King Realm things when they were in the true God realm. Like the Divine Thunder charm, if Lin Moyu didn't have a 4th rank soul, even if he had it, he wouldn't be able to use it. The true God realm's Divine Thunder charm only costs a few thousand points each. Lin Moyu sighed that the prices were a bit expensive and left the trading center. Lin Moyu walked on the road and was surrounded by people pointing and pointing again. Who told him to be the first on the potential list now? After listening to Zhuang Bai's words, Lin Moyu didn't care about these criticisms. He already knows that the bigger his reputation, the better. This is beneficial to what he will do next. Arriving at the teleportation array, Lin Moyu prepared to go to the battlefield. The battlefield is far away, more than 50,000 light-years away. It has already moved away from the Suzaku star territory. Even using the large teleportation array of Star System 10, it will take many transfers along the way to reach it. 50,000 light-years, the fee is also extremely expensive, a full 5,000 points. Before setting off, Lin Moyu suddenly received a message from the Human Emperor Network. The person sending the message was called Zhang Ziyu. Lin Moyu had seen this name before. He was ranked 2nd on the potential list. Before him, he should have been the 1st on the potential list, but now he has been squeezed to 2nd place. Zhang Ziyu sent a letter of challenge, wanting to have a big battle with Lin Moyu to prove that he should be the number 1 person on the potential list. This kind of thing happens from time to time in the potential list. The Human Emperor Network basically doesn't make mistakes, but sometimes, potential doesn't represent true combat power. Real battles are also combined with practical experience, on-the-spot performance, psychological state, strength of spells, and so on. Especially in life and death battles, the influence of external factors will be even greater. It is not uncommon for people ranked lower on the potential list to defeat people ranked higher in the same realm. In this case, the Human Emperor Network will also very simply switch the positions of the two people. Receiving Zhang Ziyu's challenge letter, Lin Moyu was not surprised. He had long expected that Zhang Ziyu would challenge him. Even the people ranked 3rd and 4th would challenge him. However, Lin Mo's reply was even more direct, just 2 words, no time. After replying to the message, Lin Mo activated the teleportation array, and with a burst of brilliant light, he headed to the battlefield. This was a long teleportation. During the teleportation, the starry sky was distorted, turning into a dazzling light that quickly fell behind him. Lin Mo seemed to see the changes in the starry sky, and in the blink of an eye, he had left countless light-years behind, disappearing into the starry sky. Teleportation over tens of thousands of light-years required several transfers. The speed of the large teleportation array was very fast, reaching 100 light-years per second. But even so, Lin Mo needed more than 10 minutes of teleportation to arrive. In a starry sky, Zhang Ziyu had just completed a task. He received Lin Mo's reply. Just 2 words, but they made Zhang Ziyu's anger rise. To actually refuse him so simply, Zhang Ziyu's eyes flashed with cold light. Don't think you can refuse my challenge like this, the first place on the potential ranking can only be mine. His eyes rolled, and he immediately had an idea. Since that's the case, then I'll force you to accept the challenge. If you don't accept, even if you occupy the first place on the potential ranking, don't even think about obtaining the power of faith. Zhang Ziyu sent out several messages in a row, using his connections. He didn't come from an ordinary family, but from a large clan. Moreover, in the family, his status was not bad, and he usually had many friends. At his request, messages were quickly transmitted to every corner of the Vermilion Bird Star region. The main content of the messages was basically that Lin Mo, the first place on the potential ranking, didn't dare to accept Zhang Ziyu's challenge. Some people even said that Lin Mo was unworthy of his reputation, and his actual combat power was not very good. Zhang Ziyu wanted to use this method to force Lin Mo to agree to his challenge. Unfortunately, all his actions were useless. Lin Mo was not in the Vermilion Bird Star region at all, he had already entered the battlefield, entered another world. An oppressive aura rushed towards him. Lin Mo saw an unusual starry sky. The starry sky here seemed to be shrouded in a blood color. The starry sky, which shouldn't have any smell, seemed to be filled with a bloody smell. Lin Mo couldn't imagine what kind of slaughter could cause such a result. He knew that this was an illusion, but what caused this illusion was the ubiquitous killing intent and blood. Leave the teleportation array. A low shout came. A soldier in armor shouted at Lin Mo. Lin Mo nodded and left immediately. The soldier didn't say a second word, his task was just to guard the teleportation array. Like Lin Mo, many people who came here for the first time would be stunned in the teleportation array. If they weren't woken up, they might be stunned for half a day, affecting the operation of the teleportation array. Lin Mo's eyes swept over. There were a full 100 large teleportation arrays here, and from time to time teleportation arrays lit up, and people came here. This was the battlefield belonging to the Vermilion Bird Star region, known as the Vermilion Bird Battlefield. The Vermilion Bird Battlefield was very vast, said to be even larger than the entire star region occupied by the human race. Lin Mo didn't know how the battlefield was created, no one told him why, even if he asked the soldiers here, they wouldn't know why. The soldiers' duty was to obey, only knowing what they needed to do, and not needing to know why they were doing it. Lin Mo's knowledge was extremely limited, only knowing that many races would engage in great battles here all year round, fighting for the resources within. The Vermilion Bird Battlefield was very rich in resources, and the battles were extremely fierce. This was different from the human race's borderline. The borderline was just a battle between 2 or 3 races. But here, there could be thousands of races fighting in a melee. This was only the battlefield where the Vermilion Bird Star region was located. There were 3 other battlefields like this, each responsible for by the other 3 star regions. It was said that the human race's star region division was also related to the number of battlefields. After learning about the information of the battlefield, Lin Mo became very interested in the battlefield. Why such a region was created, how the battlefield was formed, were all secrets he couldn't understand. Now he was in it, truly feeling the aura from the battlefield. Outside the teleportation array, there was a guiding beacon. A huge beam of light connected to a human race's space fortress on the battlefield. Space Fortress Number 1, also everyone's first stop. Here, they could accept missions, and then go to the corresponding areas to perform the missions. Following the guidance of the light beam, Lin Mo took the War King Tower and flew hundreds of millions of kilometers, finally seeing the Space Fortress. Chapter 1067. Space Fortress, First Mission. From a distance, the entire Space Fortress was glowing, like a giant star. It was indeed a star that had been transformed. A huge military fortress was built on the star, a large number of arrays were arranged, and the star was transformed into a terrifying war weapon. Although this star was still emitting light, the heat radiated outward had become very little. Most of the heat was absorbed by the arrays on the star, supplying the space fortress. The human race transformed the star into a space fortress, driven and powered by the star's own energy. The stellar essence fire burned fiercely, providing vast energy at all times. The entire space fortress exuded an oppressive aura, making people awe-stricken. Lin Mo believed that such a space fortress could definitely compete with a god Venerable. There were many people traveling with Lin Mo, and each of them exclaimed when they saw the stellar fortress. What a terrifying space fortress! It is said that it can fight against a god Venerable. I wonder if it is true or false. More than just fight against a god Venerable, it even has a record of killing a god Venerable. Among the people traveling together, there were newcomers and old-timers. Some old-timers couldn't help but smile when they saw the appearance of the newcomers. Newcomers, are you all scared? This is just one of the space fortresses. In the Vermilion Bird battlefield, there are a full 10 space fortresses like this. Everyone was shocked. So powerful, enough to fight against a god Venerable space fortress, there were actually 10 of them. This was just the Vermilion Bird battlefield, so there were other battlefields, presumably the same. At this moment, Lin Mo had a deeper understanding of the power of the human race. The power of the human race was reflected in all aspects. Arranging 10 space fortresses to guard the battlefield, only then did the human race establish its power on the battlefield. But at the same time, it also made Lin Mo aware of the danger of the battlefield. If it weren't so, the human race wouldn't need to make such a large-scale arrangement. Transforming a star into a space fortress, it was hard to imagine how vast the manpower and material resources required. Suppressing the shock in his heart, Lin Mo followed the guidance of the beacon and entered the space fortress. There were arrays operating outside the space fortress, and after confirming that there was no problem with Lin Mo's identity, he was allowed to enter. As soon as he entered the space fortress, the first thing he saw was a huge map. The map marked some facilities of the space fortress, indicating which places could be visited and which places could not be visited. Among them, Lin Mo saw some familiar places. The mission center, the trading center, and the training ground were all available. It's just that each place had to be prefixed with the word battlefield. Battlefield Mission Center, Battlefield Trading Center. Once the word battlefield was added, the meaning seemed to become different. The entire starry sky fortress exuded a sense of oppressive aura, and those walking within kept their mouths shut. No one would use the voice of the soul to communicate loudly, they used sound transmission to speak to each other. The entire starry sky fortress appeared extremely quiet. Within the starry sky fortress, there were also some leisure areas where cultivators could rest and relax, filled with delicacies and fine wines. With enough points, one could taste things that were impossible to find in the human world. Although cultivators didn't have high demands for food, they could even go without eating or drinking. However, many of the foods here came from alien races, not only delicious but also helpful for cultivation. Many cultivators couldn't resist the temptation, spending a large number of points on them. Lin Mo understood that in the stressful and stimulating battlefield, with nerves constantly on edge, appropriate relaxation was naturally necessary. Lin Mo first went to the trading center. The battlefield trading center was different from the trading centers in the human star system. There were no areas for individuals to set up stalls, everything was collected by the human race's official channels. Unless you had something to trade privately, you could only sell it to the official channels. However, here, most people would choose to trade privately because selling to the official channels not only earned points but also military merits. Lin Mo checked, and for every 10,000 points worth of items sold, he could earn an additional 1 military merit point. It seemed like very little, but military merits were extremely difficult to obtain. Lin Mo had once undertaken such a dangerous mission, killing so many true god-level demons, and only obtained 3,000 military merits in total. It could be said that those 3,000 military merits were earned with his life. Military merits had many uses, not only could they be used to increase military rank, but also to purchase some special items. Lin Mo checked around the trading center and found several items that couldn't be bought in the human star system. One of them was called the warning bead. Simply wearing the warning bead would cause it to issue an alert if any alien race approached, providing a reminder. Many alien races possessed strange abilities. They could sneak, become invisible, and launch silent attacks. With the warning bead, safety was greatly improved. However, the warning bead wasn't 100% safe. Some extremely special alien races could bypass it. Lin Mo thought about it and still bought one. Each warning bead only cost 10,000 points, which wasn't very expensive. Almost everyone who came here would buy one. The trading center also had some items suitable for the battlefield, but they weren't very useful to Lin Mo. Compared to the trading center, there were significantly more people in the mission center. This was basically the same as the human race's mission center, except for the absence of mission rooms, otherwise, there was no difference. On the battlefield, there were no missions from the Human Emperor network, so there was no need for facilities like mission rooms. Lin Mo checked the missions. Collect star fragments from War Zone 1. Collect waterlight flowers from War Zone 2. Collect refined fire godstones from War Zone 3. In the mission center, Lin Mo saw a large number of missions, most of which were collection missions. The battlefield was extremely rich in resources, and various races would collect large amounts of resources here. The entire battlefield was divided into 10 war zones, with different levels of danger. The most core and dangerous was War Zone 10, which belonged to the God Venerable realm battlefield. Then there were War Zones 7, 8, and 9, which belonged to the God King realm battlefield. And distributed on the periphery of the Vermilion Bird battlefield, War Zones 1 to 6 belonged to the True God realm battlefield. The lower the number, the safer it was. Over the years, the various races had reached a tacit understanding. Those high realm experts rarely went to low realm areas. God Kings generally wouldn't enter True God realm areas. Otherwise, the entire battlefield would be in chaos, and God Venerables could enter the True God realm to slaughter at will. Once, an alien race broke this rule, and as a result, this alien race was almost jointly annihilated by other races. However, there was no 100% safety on the battlefield. Occasionally, high realm experts would enter low-level areas. Lin Mo, in coordination with the list on the Vermilion Bird Starfield Bounty Board, chose a mission in War Zone 5. Battlefield Mission: Collect Stellar Refined Fire from War Zone 5. In War Zone 5, there is a large amount of stellar refined fire. Collect it and bring it back. Restrictions: none. Completion condition: bring back at least 10 stellar refined fires, reward 5,000 points, 10 military merits. Note: stellar refined fire itself possesses extremely strong destructive power, making it difficult to collect. Alien races are present on the battlefield. Pay attention to their movements when collecting. Chapter 1068. The Myriad Difficulties of the World. Inside the Starry Sky Fortress, there were no direct teleportation arrays to the various war zones. The areas that the teleportation arrays could reach were all the Starry Sky Fortresses. Each war zone had a Starry Sky Fortress stationed there. Lin Mo had accepted a mission in War Zone 5, so he needed to go to the War Zone 5 Starry Sky Fortress. Lin Mo saw another map. This map was about the Vermilion Bird battlefield. The map was divided into 10 areas, which were the 10 war zones. War Zones 1 to 6 were located on the outermost periphery of the Vermilion Bird battlefield. Like a huge circle, surrounding the entire battlefield. One layer inward was also a circular area, which were War Zones 7 to 9. And in the very center of the battlefield was War Zone 10, which belonged to the God Venerables. In Lin Mo's eyes, War Zone 10 in the center of the battlefield occupied an area comparable to the sum of the other 9 war zones. This structure looks a bit like a star system. Lin Mo looked at the map and muttered to himself in a voice that only he could hear. All the war zones seemed to be orbiting around the central War Zone 10. War Zone 10 was the star in the star system, and the other war zones were planets. If viewed that way, it would be easier to understand. However, what Lin Mo couldn't understand was where the resources in the war zones came from. As everyone knows, the total amount of resources in a star system is limited. Resources are not unrenewable, but the speed is very slow. This is common sense, almost everyone knows it. But the situation in the battlefield was not like this. In the battlefield, resources seemed to be endless. New resources were constantly being born and appearing, which led to various races frantically fighting for resources in the battlefield. Any race was extremely thirsty for resources. In addition to resources, there were also various opportunities in the battlefield. Many people would come here to seek opportunities when they couldn't break through with their own strength. Lin Mo entered the teleportation array to go to Fortress 5. At this time, Lin Mo discovered another strange thing. He didn't need to spend any points to go to Fortress 5. But if he went to other Starry Sky Fortresses, he would have to spend points, and the cost was very high. Lin Mo realized that this was related to the mission he had accepted. He had accepted a mission in War Zone 5, so going to the War Zone 5 Starry Sky Fortress was free. If he went to a starry sky fortress without a corresponding mission, he would have to pay. This way, it prevented others from using the teleportation array to walk around randomly. After all, the distance between starry sky fortresses was very far, and this type of large-scale interstellar teleportation array would consume a lot of energy. He had to go through several transfers from Fortress 1 to Fortress 5, spanning a full 30,000 light-years. The Vermilion Bird battlefield was far larger than Lin Mo had imagined. Before, he had only heard that the Vermilion Bird battlefield was larger than the entire Vermilion Bird starfield, and now it seemed that it was indeed so. Above the 10th fortress, a god lord sat cross-legged. He was the master of the 10th fortress, and also the one in charge of the Vermilion Bird battlefield, Zhu Qiwu. Zhu Qiwu faced the very center, the most core area, of the entire battlefield. It was pitch black there, all light disappearing without a trace. Even the light emitted from the star fortress could not illuminate the darkness in the distance. Vast soul power emanated, spreading like a large net in the dark and deep starry sky, as if absorbing power from the depths of darkness. Suddenly, a light appeared before him, originating from the star fortress beneath him. Zhu Tian's figure appeared within the light. "Eldest brother," Zhu Tian said loudly. Zhu Qiwu did not open his eyes, his voice gently transmitting, "Third brother, what is it?" Zhu Tian said, "Someone I have high hopes for has arrived at the Vermilion Bird battlefield, I'd like to trouble eldest brother to look after him." Someone he has high hopes for. Zhu Qiwu thought for a moment, then understood what it was about. "What's his name?" Zhu Qiwu asked. Zhu Tian said, "Lin Mo Yu." Zhu Qiwu remained silent with his eyes closed. Zhu Tian was not in a hurry, quietly waiting. After a few seconds, Zhu Qiwu slowly said, "He has already gone to the 5th fortress, that is the mission area for those above the 6th rank of True God realm. He is only at the 1st rank of True God. It seems he possesses the ability to challenge beyond his level. What is his true combat power?" Zhu Tian said, "He once killed a 1st rank God King." Zhu Qiwu's eyelids twitched violently a few times, but his eyes still remained closed. "Understood, I will have people watching." Zhu Tian bowed slightly towards Zhu Qiwu. "Third brother thanks eldest brother. You and I are brothers, no need for such formalities." Zhu Qiwu spoke crisply and directly. Zhu Tian smiled slightly, "I wonder when senior brother will break through." Zhu Qiwu replied, "It should be soon, what about you?" Zhu Tian shook his head, "Burdened by trivial matters, I'm afraid it will be difficult." Zhu Qiwu said in a low voice, "Handling trivial matters is also a form of cultivation. Hold fast to your original intention, do not be disturbed by external things. Have you forgotten what master taught you?" Zhu Tian gave a bitter smile. "How dare I forget, it's just too difficult. You don't know how troublesome it is to manage a star region. Trouble is also a form of cultivation." "I know, but, alas, I'll do my best. If it really doesn't work, I can only take another path." Zhu Tian's projection disappeared, he had already left. Zhu Qiwu sighed softly, "All things in the world are difficult, the hardship lies in not being able to hold fast to one's original intention. How can there be easy things to say?" After saying that, he closed his eyes again. A black shadow flew out from his body, it was one of his clones. The clone disappeared into the starry sky, vanishing without a trace. Immediately afterwards, a teleportation array lit up in the star fortress. Lin Mo Yu arrived at the 5th star fortress, which seemed no different from the 1st star fortress. The structure of the entire fortress was exactly the same as the 1st fortress. The only difference was that there was no mission center or trading center here. Furthermore, the existence of the human emperor network could no longer be sensed here. After completing a mission, one had to return to the 1st fortress to turn it in. The area he could move around in was very small. Most of the area here belonged to the military and was not open to outsiders. Lin Mo Yu did not stay in the fortress for long, and activated the teleportation array again. The 5th star fortress faced the 5th war zone, but the 5th war zone was very large and was subdivided into thousands of small areas, which could be distinguished by numbering. The human race was used to using numerical numbering, which made things clear at a glance. The mission he had chosen was located in the 5 to 38 area. Where 5 represents the 5th war zone, 5 to 38 is the 38th area in the 5th war zone. In this area, the human race had established a small outpost base, managed by people from the military. As soon as Lin Mo Yu came out of the teleportation array, he felt a different aura. It was the aura of the military, reminding him of the soldiers in the small world. They had a similar aura. This small base, which was not large in scale, was built on a fragment of a planet, covering an area of only 100 miles in radius. An army was stationed here, forming a military formation. Every soldier had the battle power of a 7th rank true god or higher. After forming a military formation, they were enough to fight against a god king. Here, they would not take the initiative to attack. As long as the alien races did not provoke them, they would not actively attack. It seemed to be an unspoken rule, and other races did the same. He gave a military salute to the soldiers before leaving the base and truly entering the 38th area. Chapter 1069. Vast Battlefield, Abrupt Dark Star. The starry sky of the battlefield is very different from the starry sky of the human race. There is also starlight here, but the starlight is dim, not as bright as in the human race's starry sky. However, behind the dim starlight is an extremely rich starlight law. Cultivators who control the starlight law can increase their combat power by at least 30% on the battlefield. The starlight law was originally just a weaker one in the second tier of laws. But after its power was increased by 30%, it at least reached the average level of various laws in the second tier. In addition, it has the advantages of low consumption and strong continuous combat ability, making it shine on the battlefield. The starlight is obviously not strong here, but the starlight law is extremely rich. The reason is that the battlefield is full of dark stars. These stars, which absorb light and cannot be seen with the naked eye, fly around on the battlefield and are very dangerous. Many cultivators have been hit by dark stars, and powerful dark stars are enough to smash true God realm cultivators to pieces. Only some races with strong bodies may be spared. Lin Moyu was thinking about various information about the battlefield in his mind, reviewing the precautions. Soul power spread out, forming a surveillance network. In the dark battlefield, soul power is more useful than eyes. After flying out a distance, Lin Moyu released hundreds of skeletons, letting them fly in all directions. Several flew in front of him, acting as his eyes. The skeletons have their own unique undead vision, and dark stars that are invisible to the naked eye are clearly visible in the eyes of the skeletons. Lin Moyu flew towards the mission location. The speed was very fast. The reason for choosing this mission is not just for the mission of collecting stellar essence fire. There is also the fact that on the Vermilion Bird Star region's wanted list, there is a guy named Luo Fei who often operates in this area and has killed many human cultivators. Luo Fei belongs to the winged race, ranked 88th on the wanted list, with a cultivation base of the 6th rank of True God. He has the ability to fight beyond his level. According to the information on the wanted list, his actual combat power has reached the 8th rank of True God. Killing him can earn 2,000 points and a reward of 200 military merits. Points are secondary, military merits are the key. 200 military merits is not a small amount. If converted into the amount in the trading center, a transaction volume of 2 million points is required to obtain 200 military merits. While doing the mission, try to see if you can encounter Luo Fei. Lin Moyu will not deliberately look for him. Everything depends on fate. In this way, it is equivalent to doing 2 missions together, and if you are lucky, the efficiency can be doubled. After flying for hundreds of thousands of kilometers, the skeleton suddenly saw a different scene ahead. A star, as if surging from beneath the water, suddenly appeared in sight. The skeleton immediately transmitted the information back to Lin Moyu, who saw this dark star with a diameter of approximately 100 kilometers. A dark star with a diameter of only 100 kilometers is considered small among numerous dark stars. However, the smaller the dark star, the faster its speed. This small dark star appeared abruptly, and as soon as it appeared, it was already close at hand, and then it crashed into the skeleton at an astonishing speed. The skeleton god warrior didn't have time to dodge and was hit directly. The skeleton god warrior was smashed to pieces, and the exploded bones were drawn to it by a powerful force. Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and these bones disappeared instantly. In the art of constellations, a new skeleton god warrior appeared. Lin Moyu discovered from the information transmitted by the skeleton god warrior that the dark star had a huge suction force. Once locked on, the speed would be greatly reduced, making it difficult to evade. The key was that this dark star appeared too strangely, completely out of nowhere. Previously, there were no dark stars directly in front of the skeleton. Could dark stars teleport? Lin Moyu thought to himself, extremely puzzled. Moreover, the impact force of the dark star made him speechless. Even the defensive power of the skeleton god warrior could not escape unscathed. This indicated that the impact force of the dark star had at least reached the peak of the true god realm, or even the god king realm. If it hit him, he wouldn't feel good either. If it were replaced by other cultivators, they would probably die directly. He had to be careful and slowed down. In the following period, no more dark stars appeared abruptly. Because he slowed down, the reaction time he had was correspondingly longer. The skeletons could see the dark stars from afar and then avoid them from a distance. Here, Lin Mo Yu did not use the War King Tower. He was not sure if there were stronger dark stars that might destroy the War King Tower along with them. Half a day later, Lin Mo Yu had already left the base by tens of millions of kilometers. The vastness of the number 5 to 38 area exceeded Lin Mo Yu's expectations. It was much larger than an ordinary star system. Even after flying for tens of millions of kilometers, he was still only on the edge. According to Lin Mo Yu's estimation, he would have to fly at least another 20 to 30 million kilometers before reaching the mission area. The starry sky became increasingly dark, and the number of dark stars gradually increased. Along the way, Lin Mo Yu did not encounter a single living being. Neither humans nor alien races. It should be said that the battlefield was too vast. No matter how many people entered it, once dispersed, it would be difficult to meet again. In the blink of an eye, a whole day had passed, at least 20 million kilometers. He encountered more than a dozen dark stars along the way, forcing Lin Mo Yu to change direction. Finally, a point of starlight appeared in sight, breaking the pitch-black dark sky and bringing a glimmer of light. His gaze slightly condensed, and the starlight rapidly magnified in his vision. It was not starlight at all, but a ball of flames. Stellar essence fire. A stellar essence fire. The corpse left behind after the death of a star can be used to comprehend the laws of fire. Lin Mo Yu had seen stellar essence fire when he first came to the Great World. But the stellar essence fire in front of him seemed to be different. The stellar essence fire left behind after the death of a star had no vitality, only dead silence, and even some resentment. But the stellar essence fire in front of him exuded a rich vitality. This kind of stellar essence fire full of vitality can be used to repair stars, or to enhance the power of stars, or even to evolve into new stars. For the human race, stars are the foundation of life star systems. Not only the human race, but also many other races. Collecting stellar essence fire, evolving into stars, and forming new life star systems is of great significance to the race. Lin Mo Yu flew towards the stellar essence fire, and the starfire jade bottle appeared in his hand. He bought this from the trading center after accepting the mission. The price was not expensive, the same as the warning bead, 10,000 points could buy one. After use, it could also be sold back to the trading center, also for 10,000 points, without losing money. Lin Mo Yu came to the stellar essence fire and felt the power of the stellar essence fire. A ball of fire with a diameter of more than 100 meters was burning fiercely. His soul power moved slightly, activating the starfire jade bottle. A suction force was generated from the starfire jade bottle, enveloping the stellar essence fire. The stellar essence fire began to deform, turning into a brilliant fire snake, flying towards the starfire jade bottle. Collecting stellar essence fire cannot be distracted and requires full concentration. The entire collection process takes about 10 minutes. Just as Lin Mo Yu was collecting stellar essence fire, the warning bead suddenly lit up. The warning range of the warning bead was 10,000 kilometers, indicating that an alien race had appeared within 10,000 kilometers. 10,000 kilometers, for a true God realm cultivator, was only a few seconds. Even shorter for cultivators who controlled speed-related laws. A shadow appeared behind Lin Mo Yu, and a cold light flashed. Chapter 1070, Counter-Killing the Blackscale Clan, the First Puppet. Lin Mo Yu didn't panic at all, but the corners of his mouth raised slightly. A white light lit up, and several skeletons appeared around Lin Mo Yu, among them the skeleton god warrior wielding an axe, counter-attacking with even more fierce attacks. The opponent let out an exclamation. He obviously did not expect Lin Mo Yu's reaction to be so fast, and he could also counterattack. His figure exploded with a bang, disappearing without a trace, and hiding in the darkness again. But his concealment was useless to the skeletons. The skeleton soul archer had already drawn his bow and arrow. The soul attack arrived in an instant, the shadow screamed, and reappeared in the dark starry sky. The skeleton god mage had already followed up, treating the undead law as a bomb, directly detonating it on the opponent. The skeleton god warrior also followed, and the axe directly chopped down. Faced with the skeleton's siege, the shadow became very passive. Especially the skeleton god archer's attack, directly attacking the soul, was unavoidable. Seeing that the sneak attack had failed, the shadow immediately wanted to retreat, and he disappeared into the darkness again. At this time, a dragon's roar sounded in the starry sky, the death dragon knight flew out, and spewed out fiery dragon breath. The law domain also opened at the same time, instantly covering a radius of 10,000 meters. The shadow had just disappeared and was forced out again by the law domain. In the law domain, Lin Mo Yu was the master, and he was difficult to hide. The dragon breath fell on the shadow was burned by the dragon breath, and corroded by the undead law, and an astonishing scream resounded through the starry sky. He wanted to escape, but Lin Mo Yu didn't give him a chance at all. More skeletons appeared, surrounding him. The sharp attacks never stopped from the beginning. Bearing attacks from all directions, the screams lasted for a full minute before gradually fading. The starry sky became quiet again. The shadow that attacked Lin Mo Yu had been completely burned into a charred corpse. It was impossible to identify what race he was in life. But for Lin Mo Yu, it was not a problem. The skeleton dragged his corpse before Lin Mo Yu, who casually flicked his finger, sending a ball of fire onto the body. Stellar level spell, Resurrection of the Dead. Within the flames, the deceased corpse regenerated flesh and blood, its soul returning. In the blink of an eye, he was kneeling alive before Lin Mo Yu. Lin Mo Yu examined him, his form bearing a fivefold resemblance to humans, but with the addition of a tail. His head was like a flattened lizard, extremely peculiar. His entire body was covered in black scales, which absorbed light, exhibiting a color similar to the surroundings. To the naked eye, he was nearly impossible to detect, even at close range. Lin Mo Yu inquired, "What is your race? What is your strength?" "I am from the Black Lizard clan, a true god of the Sixth Order," he replied in a low voice, kneeling on the ground without lifting his head. As a resurrected being, Lin Mo Yu's words were his commands. A true god of the Sixth Order, yet capable of unleashing the attack power of a true god of the Seventh Order in an instant. Moreover, the Black Lizard clan could alter their color, possessing exceptional concealment abilities, making them well suited for ambushes here. Perhaps slightly inferior to the Shadow clan, but still quite remarkable. Given the right opportunity, a sudden burst of power could potentially kill a true god of the Seventh Order. Lin Mo Yu analyzed his strength in an instant and said in a low voice, "Leave your storage ring. Find races other than humans, launch sneak attacks, feign defeat, and lure them toward me. Your servant obeys." He immediately accepted the order and departed, his color changing, disappearing into the darkness. If Lin Mo Yu could sense the existence of the resurrected, it would indeed be impossible to detect him with the naked eye. Unfortunately, he couldn't escape the eyes of the skeletons before this. Before he got close, the skeletons had already detected his presence. Lin Mo Yu had long woven a net, waiting for him to enter. With the first puppet, there should be more puppets later. This was the strategy Lin Mo Yu had planned from the start. He could directly charge in with the skeletons, but that would be too conspicuous. It might be effective at first, but not sustainable. It was far less effective than using other races to lure people over. Lin Mo Yu wasn't in a hurry, he still needed to find stellar fire. The mission objective was 10 wisps of stellar fire, but Lin Mo Yu's goal was far more than that. Stellar fire could be sold for money, each wisp could fetch at least several thousand points. Moreover, he also needed to find alien races. Having spent 5 million points before coming, Lin Mo Yu intended to earn it all back on the battlefield. 10 minutes later, the stellar fire before him was collected, and a ball of flame appeared in the Starfire Jade Bottle. The Starfire Jade Bottle was a special magic weapon specifically crafted for collecting flames, capable of holding a large amount of fire. Storing thousands of wisps of stellar fire like this was not a problem. Without the stellar fire, the starry sky became dark again. Lin Mo Yu took out the storage ring he had just obtained. The storage ring was somewhat different in appearance from those of humans, but its functions were almost the same, and the method of use was no different. Seeking fresh flowers. The previous owner of the storage ring had died, the soul imprint on the ring had disappeared, and the ring had become ownerless. With a thought, Lin Mo Yu easily opened the ring. The space inside the ring was not small, and there were many messy things, most of which were alien objects that Lin Moyu did not recognize. Among them were a few magical treasures, which did not seem to belong to the Black Lizard clan, so they must have been his spoils of war. He must have killed many alien races. After rummaging through the ring, Lin Moyu found something similar to a starfire jade bottle. This bottle was used by the alien race to store stellar fire, and there were 3 wisps of stellar fire inside. Lin Moyu didn't stand on ceremony and took them all, instantly completing a small portion of the task. As expected, killing and arson are the fastest ways to make money. Lin Moyu said softly, putting the ring away. As for how much the things inside were worth, he would let the appraiser at the trading center estimate the price when he returned. He was too lazy to calculate it himself. He lowered his head and looked at the warning bead on his waist. This thing was still somewhat useful, but its effect was limited when facing prepared assassinations and ambushes. The warning bead hung on the left side of his waist, and a specially made iron plate hung on the right side of his waist. The iron plate was called the battlefield plate, and everyone who came to the battlefield would receive one. This plate would record how many alien races you killed on the battlefield. A unified settlement would be made when leaving the battlefield. The battlefield plate would be linked to the Human Emperor network, so there was no possibility of cheating. Cultivators usually didn't need to pay attention to it, and it would automatically be settled when they left the battlefield. In the battlefield, the presence of the Human Emperor network was already very weak, so such an iron plate was needed for recording. If it were in the territory of the human race, there would be no need for such trouble, and the Human Emperor network would be enough to record everything that happened. Continuing to fly deeper into the war zone, faint lights occasionally flickered in the dark starry sky. These faint lights were where stellar fire was located. Stellar fire was scarce. Lin Moyu had been here for 2 days. After initially collecting a wisp of stellar fire, he had no further gains. Lin Moyu could only continue to go deeper. The deeper he went, the higher the probability of encountering stellar fire. 2 more days passed, and Lin Moyu found another wisp of stellar fire, successfully collecting it. In these 2 days, no alien races came to harass him. Lin Moyu knew that he was still on the periphery. As long as he continued to go deeper, he would inevitably encounter alien races. Chapter 1071, The Second Puppet, Instant Kill. Putting away the starfire jade bottle, he looked towards the depths of the starry sky. The laws here are very clear. And there is a strange energy that seems to accelerate the understanding of laws. In these 2 days, Lin Moyu felt that his strength had improved slightly. His soul power had naturally increased somewhat, and his understanding of the undying laws seemed to have increased again. This feeling was very strange. He had not deliberately tried to understand the laws, but insights were constantly being generated, and his understanding of the laws was gradually deepening. It was as if those insights were forcibly stuffed into him. He thought about it for a long time but couldn't figure out what was going on. However, Lin Moyu also realized that if others were like this, then it could explain why people who couldn't break through would come to the battlefield. Although the battlefield was dangerous, it could indeed increase the chances of a breakthrough. Lin Moyu knew what was happening, but not why. Ultimately, it was still because his strength and knowledge were not enough. In the starry sky, the Black Lizard clan member, as a resurrected being, was flying in a sorry state. Behind him, a dark star that was almost invisible to the naked eye was frantically chasing after him. Lin Moyu sensed the other party's position and state through the connection with the resurrected being. Oh, he's actually being chased. The resurrected being was injured, and seriously injured, with most of the scales on his body broken. With his strength and concealment abilities, even if he couldn't walk sideways in the 5 to 38 area, he could at least protect himself. Lin Moyu's order to him was just to pretend to be defeated and then attract the alien race, not to actually get hurt. It wasn't until he saw the dark star chasing him that Lin Moyu understood what was going on. The one chasing him was not a real dark star, but a Black Zon clan member. He had seen the Black Zon clan in the virtual secret realm of the Human Emperor network and had killed many Black Zon clan members. But the virtual world was, after all, just virtual, and there were always differences between it and the real world. The Black Zon clan members were like fish in water on the battlefield. They were originally black all over, and when they were not moving, they curled up into a ball, which was not much different from a small planet in the starry sky. Especially in this dark battlefield space, they looked extremely like dark stars. The Black Zon clan's defense was extremely powerful. Lin Moyu guessed that his revenant must have failed in a sneak attack and almost been killed by the Black Zon clan. The Black Zon clan member in front of him exuded the aura of a Tier 7 True God Realm expert, and his defense should have reached the Tier 8 True God Realm. In the True God Realm, a difference of one tier could be a huge gap. The Revenant could unleash the attack power of a Tier 7 True God Realm expert in an instant, but it definitely couldn't do anything to this Black Zon clan member. According to Lin Moyu's orders, the Revenant changed direction and fled towards Lin Moyu. The Black Zon clan also discovered Lin Moyu, and his entire body curled into a ball, turning into a meteor and crashing straight over. Lin Moyu even heard his ferocious laughter. Not bad, the second puppet will be you. Lin Moyu chuckled and gently tapped his finger. Fusion spell, Curse of Time. As the red light fell, the Black Zon clan member let out a miserable cry. The entire asteroid was shaking violently, and the momentum of its charge was greatly weakened. The opponent possessed at least the combat power of a Tier 7 True God Realm expert. Lin Moyu knew that he couldn't kill him with just the Curse of Time spell. However, the soul attack was enough to slow down the opponent's charge. The result was as he expected. Immediately afterward, a large number of skeleton divine generals appeared, wielding their bone swords and unleashing majestic sword energy. Sword energy intertwined in the starry sky, like a large net, enveloping the Black Zon clan member. As the sword energy swept across, the Black Zon clan member's body was torn apart, unable to even scream, and was directly chopped into pieces. A ball of flames flew out and landed on the Black Zon clan member's shattered corpse. Stellar level spell, Undead Rebirth. The shattered corpse that had just been torn apart reassembled in the undead flames and was restored to its original state in the blink of an eye. However, the Black Zon clan member at this moment was no longer the same as before. He had become a revenant, completely obedient to Lin Moyu. At this time, Lin Moyu had two puppets. He issued the exact same order again, telling the two to leave. Lin Moyu himself continued to delve deeper into Area 38 to find more stellar essence fire. In the blink of an eye, more than 10 days had passed since Lin Moyu entered Area 38. He had flown nearly 5 billion kilometers. Although, according to the distance of a light year, 5 billion kilometers was nothing. 1 light year was approximately 9.46 trillion kilometers, and a mere 5 billion kilometers wasn't even a fraction of that. But 5 billion kilometers wasn't short for a true god. Here, he couldn't use flying devices and could only fly by himself. Moreover, he had to guard against dark stars, so he couldn't accelerate without limit. Lin Moyu believed that his speed was already fast enough. With skeletons clearing the way in front, he basically didn't have to worry about dark stars, so his speed was only slightly slower than usual. According to the data, Area 5 to 38 is roughly spherical. The diameter is about 0.1 light years. I'm still on the periphery, and even the outer periphery. Lin Moyu sighed in his heart. The vastness of the battlefield could only be appreciated after entering it personally. War Zone 5 was just one of the 10 major war zones on the battlefield. Moreover, it was located on the periphery, and its area wasn't considered large. War Zone 5 was further divided into 1,000 areas. Each area varied in size, and there were large expanses of empty space between each area. These empty spaces accounted for more than 90% of the entire war zone. Only less than 10% of the space was the real war zone. The less than 10% of war zone space was divided into 1,000 independent areas. One could imagine how large War Zone 5 was, and how large the entire Vermilion Bird battlefield must be. After flying for another 10 days, as he became more familiar with the battlefield, Lin Moyu's speed gradually increased. In these 10 days, the starry sky was silent, and there was nothing but dark stars. There was no direction here, no up, down, left, or right. He didn't know where he was flying. However, cultivators had their own ways of finding direction. Through their souls, they could sense the flow of the laws and know where they were flying. Different directions not only had different levels of law density and different flows, but also slightly different temperatures. At the core of this area, the number of stellar essence fires would be relatively larger, and the heat released would also increase. Even from such a distance, there would be a slight impact on the temperature. Even an impact of 0.01 degrees, Lin Moyu could clearly feel. Lin Moyu knew that his direction was correct and continued to fly forward. The Black Lizard clan and Black Zon clan members he sent out couldn't keep up for the time being. The distance between them was too far. Lin Moyu didn't care about it. After all, they were just idle pieces he had placed when he had nothing to do. Whether or not there were results didn't matter. After flying for tens of billions of kilometers again, the temperature increased slightly, and the frequency of dark stars appearing increased slightly. The laws, like ocean currents, became increasingly clear as they were transmitted from the darkness. Following the direction of the laws, a point of starlight appeared again in his vision. The starlight jumped in the dark starry sky, so mesmerizing. He had finally found the second stellar essence fire. More than 20 days had passed since he last saw the stellar essence fire. After spending more than 20 days in the dark solitude, Lin Moyu couldn't help but reveal a hint of joy in his eyes at the sight of light. As he got closer and closer to the stellar essence fire, the light became brighter and brighter. Immediately afterward, Lin Moyu saw stars twinkling behind this stellar essence fire. Each point of starlight was a stellar essence fire. He seemed to have crossed a boundary, as if he had turned a corner and saw a whole new world. Chapter 1072. A new way to mediate, eliminate the source. Stellar essence fire constantly radiated heat and light outward, but the propagation distance of light was limited. It could only be seen within a certain range. That's why Lin Moyu hadn't been able to see the stellar essence fire before, until now. In his vision, stars twinkled, with at least hundreds of stellar essence fires flickering. Lin Moyu knew that he had finally truly entered the 5 to 38 war zone. It wasn't quite the core yet, but at least it was no longer the outer edge. At the same time, Lin Moyu became vigilant. Here, the number of active alien races would increase significantly. Especially when collecting stellar essence fire, one had to be especially careful. The alien races each had their own methods. Often, before collecting stellar essence fire, they would carefully check the surrounding area. Some alien races even directly set up formations and other methods. Still other alien races chose to travel in groups to ensure safety. Stellar essence fire was an important resource for every race. In his vision, a point of starlight suddenly became distorted. After flickering for a few seconds, it suddenly disappeared. Lin Moyu noted the location of that stellar essence fire, indicating that someone had collected the stellar essence fire there. Crossing the starry sky, he arrived in front of the nearest stellar essence fire, took out the starfire jade bottle, and directly collected it. While collecting it, Lin Moyu checked the dynamics of the other stellar essence fires. If a stellar essence fire suddenly disappeared, then it must have been taken away by someone. He could follow up and kill people and set fires later. It wasn't the aliens, Monopoly. After killing the Black Lizard clan, the harvest was good. Unfortunately, the later Black Zon clan was more special. They didn't have storage treasures on them. The Black Zon clan had their own internal space. Everything was inside their bodies, and it disappeared with them after death. Lin Moyu gained nothing. The skeletons were hidden in the dark, vigilant. If anyone dared to come over, they would be discovered immediately. With the skeletons present, the warning beads effect was greatly reduced. The second stellar essence fire was collected very smoothly. No one disturbed the entire process. While collecting it, Lin Moyu saw that 2 more stellar essence fires had changed. Chapter 1351. One of the stellar fire's light was gradually dimming, but after dimming halfway, it suddenly recovered. Lin Moyu knew it was because the process of collecting the stellar fire was interrupted, guessing that someone ambushed him and a battle broke out. Let's go and mediate. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, spread out his undead wings, and flew away. After being quiet for more than 20 days, his hands were itching. Several minutes later, Lin Moyu flew out tens of millions of kilometers, and finally felt the majestic aura of the law. 2 different laws were colliding in the starry sky. In the starry sky tens of thousands of kilometers away from a stellar fire, 2 aliens were fighting. Law domains unfolded, and the power of the laws eroded and attacked each other. Lin Moyu saw the 2 people fighting from a distance. One person exuded a crystal-clear luster, flashing with bright starlight, like a star. He was using the law of starlight. The other was shrouded in ice. The power of the water law was surging, constantly freezing the law of starlight. The 2 were evenly matched, both at the 7th level of True God, and it was difficult to determine the winner for a while. Lin Moyu recognized both of these races, having seen them in the data. The one manipulating the law of starlight was the Goblin race, and the one manipulating the water law was the Frost Star race. These two races were also among the races that invaded the human race. A hint of killing intent flashed in Lin Moyu's eyes as he began to mediate. The skeleton god generals emerged in response, detouring from all directions, completing the encirclement silently. The two fighting had no idea that they were surrounded by the skeleton god generals. Then, the encirclement closed, and they began to close the net. By the time they discovered the skeleton god generals, they were completely trapped and had no chance of escaping. Where did these skeletons come from? How can there be so many? Who is this guy, daring to take advantage of the situation? No one answered them. The skeleton god generals had completed the encirclement, and their long swords slashed across the starry sky, cutting out countless sword energies. Bastard! Looking for death! The two shouted in unison, almost instantly turning enemies into friends, and instead launched an attack on the skeleton god generals. Lin Moyu watched, shaking his head slightly. Too late. As always, he would not say a word of nonsense to the aliens. It was useless to say more to the aliens, just kill them, and then turn them into his own puppets. This was Lin Moyu's way of mediation, the most direct and effective. The source of the conflict was eliminated, and the mediation was naturally successful. Lin Moyu successfully completed his mediation, and in the flames, the two aliens became resurrected. They were very obedient and obediently handed over all their savings. These two had been active in this war zone for more than a year, and their gains were not small. They had killed aliens and collected stellar fire themselves. The combined harvest of the two was 10 stellar fires. Now Lin Moyu had 15 stellar fires, and the task was already overfulfilled. But now, Lin Moyu had just entered the state, and it was far from the time to go back. Through questioning the two, Lin Moyu knew that continuing to fly in the previous direction for about 10 billion kilometers would enter the first stellar fire cluster. That was also the area where the competition among the races was the most intense. They had been active there before, but it was too dangerous, and they were not strong enough, so they left there and came here. Although there were not many stellar fires here, and the distance between each one was extremely far, at least it was relatively safe. According to them, those who roamed the stellar fire cluster had to have at least the strength of the peak of the 7th level of True God, or even the 8th level of True God. Like them, although they had reached the 7th level of True God, they were only at the ordinary level of the 7th level of True God. They could go, but it was dangerous. Lin Moyu calculated that he had flown nearly 10 billion kilometers back and forth. If he flew another 10 billion kilometers, that would be 20 billion kilometers. It seemed far, but it was nothing. It should be known that the diameter of Area 5 to 38 reached 0.1 light-years, nearly a trillion kilometers. Based on this calculation, if he continued to go deeper, there should be more stellar fires. Lin Moyu asked, "Have you ever been to the deeper area?" "No," the two said in unison, immediately denying it. Lin Moyu asked, "Why?" "Too dangerous," the two said in unison again. Lin Moyu frowned slightly. Since both of them said so, it seemed that it was really dangerous. After the two explained, Lin Moyu understood that the danger not only came from the competition and assassination of aliens but also from the stellar fire. After passing the first stellar fire cluster, he needed to fly another 10 billion kilometers to reach the second stellar fire cluster. The second stellar fire cluster was larger, more than 10 times larger. But opportunities were often accompanied by dangers. There, the stellar fire would move randomly, or even be born out of thin air. If he was unlucky, the stellar fire would happen to appear in his location. The stellar fire not only burned the body, but also ignited the soul. It could instantly burn to death existences below the 8th level of True God. The 8th level of True God would inevitably be seriously injured, and even the 9th level of True God would be in trouble. In addition to the aliens and the randomly moving, ever-present stellar fire, he would occasionally encounter dark stars. Dark stars were also deadly. Therefore, they called the area after the stellar fire cluster the Land of Chaos. Some races also called it the Land of Disorder. Lin Moyu issued the same order as before, asking them to attract aliens over. At the same time, he ordered the Black Scale and Black Mystic races to rush over. Land of Disorder, Lin Moyu said softly, looking at the dark and quiet deep space. Since there were more stellar fires in front, there was no need to stay here. What Lin Moyu wanted was not only stellar fire, but also something else. Chapter 1073 Stellar Fire Cluster, Law of the Great World. Each flap of the undead wings could make Lin Moyu fly tens of thousands of kilometers. The skeletons opened the way in front, and Lin Moyu maintained a distance of about 100,000 kilometers from the skeletons in front. As long as he didn't encounter a suddenly appearing dark star, this distance was safe enough. Now he was already familiar with the starry sky of the battlefield, and dodging dark stars was also easy. Stepping on the light-speed law halo, he advanced at a speed of 30,000 kilometers per second, and 10 billion kilometers would take only 4 days to reach. Although the speed was not as good as the War King Tower, it was fast enough for a true god realm. Even compared to the speed of those true god-level flying magic weapons, it was not much worse. 3 days later, a piece of brilliant light appeared in his vision. It was like a sky full of stars suddenly appearing in the darkness, bright and dazzling, extremely beautiful. From a distance, a large number of stellar fires were mixed together, like a galaxy held upside down in the dark starry sky. It looked very close, but it was actually still very far away. The distance to the stellar fire cluster was at least 1 billion kilometers, and it would take almost half a day to arrive. A first stellar essence fire cluster, A. After that, another 10 billion kilometers away, will be the second stellar essence fire cluster, where the scale and quantity of stellar essence fire are even greater. A. But with so much stellar essence fire, why don't god kings and god sovereigns come? If they came, it shouldn't be difficult to quickly collect true fire. A. Lin Moyu's gaze passed over the first stellar essence fire cluster, looking towards the deeper darkness. It looked like there was nothing there, just darkness. Because the radiant range of the stellar essence fire was limited, it could only be seen when reaching a certain distance. Lin Moyu found it strange, as if the stellar essence fire had its own territory, and only by entering their territory could they be seen. As the distance to the stellar essence fire cluster grew closer, the temperature gradually began to rise. Large amounts of stellar essence fire converged their temperatures together, and the temperature became higher and higher. In the blink of an eye, it rose from below 0 degrees to over 100 degrees, and it was still rising. Stellar essence fire is the final corpse of a star, and also the essence of a star's brilliant life. Its temperature is actually very, very high. The temperature of powerful stellar essence fire can reach trillions, or even hundreds of trillions of degrees. If it were a transcendent god realm person, it would be difficult to even approach. Those powerful stellar essence fires are enough to burn true gods to death. Lin Moyu still remembered that when the stellar essence fire erupted, those transcendent god realm cultivators fled as fast as they could, not daring to touch it at all. As the distance grew closer, Lin Moyu roughly counted that in this stellar essence fire cluster, there were about 2,000 to 3,000 stellar essence fires. This was considered a relatively astonishing number, and the competition was also very fierce. When the distance reached 100 million kilometers, Lin Moyu suddenly stopped. He seemed to have suddenly entered another space, and the change in space brought a strange feeling. This space was filled with a peculiar power. Lin Moyu was very familiar with this power, having dealt with it many times. The Great World Laws. The power of laws evolved from the Great World Runes is called the power of the Great World Laws. This power exists in many places, such as some secret realms, and even the secret realms virtually created by the Human Emperor Network, all have traces of it. Lin Moyu stayed in the starry sky, carefully sensing the Great World Laws. Now, he was no longer a novice who knew nothing. He already had his own understanding of the Great World Laws. Soon, he analyzed the meaning within. So that's how it is. No wonder there are no god kings or god sovereigns coming here. The previous doubts were answered. The stellar essence fire cluster attracted the Great World Laws, not allowing beings beyond the true god realm to enter. If a god king or god sovereign insisted on entering, the Great World Laws would suppress them, reducing their power to the true god realm. Not only would it suppress their power, but it would even attract the hostility of the Great World Laws. In the Great World, no one is willing to confront the Great World Laws. In the minds of countless cultivators, the Great World Runes are supreme, the ultimate pursuit. And as an evolved product of the Great World Runes, the Great World Laws are the ancestor of all laws, so no one would confront their ancestor. God kings and god sovereigns are not absolutely unable to come. They can hide in the void and launch sneak attacks on true gods of various races. As long as they don't get close to the stellar essence fire cluster, they will not be suppressed. But in that case, other races would also carry out bloody revenge. If you can do this, other races can do the same. The result would be mutual destruction, meaningless. Thus, the rules were created. This is the battlefield belonging to the true God realm. Lin Mo Yu entered the unique space shrouded by the great world laws, like entering a secret realm instance. Law fluctuations were constantly being transmitted over, indicating that someone was fighting. Lin Mo Yu smiled slightly, time to mediate again. Soon, he saw two people fighting. A demon, and one is a butterfly. One of the combatants had a ferocious face and was covered in barbs, looking extremely terrifying, like a beast. His opponent was a delicate butterfly woman. The butterfly woman's appearance was extremely similar to that of humans, except that she had two pairs of exquisite wings on her back. The wings were semicircular, covered with exquisite patterns, very beautiful. As the wings vibrated, they scattered starlight. Each point of starlight was condensed from the law of starlight, emitting a not weak power. No matter how strongly the demon attacked, it was difficult to break through the starlight defense. But similarly, the butterfly woman's defense was strong and her attack was weak, making it difficult to hurt the opponent. Both were 7th-order true gods, and among 7th-order true gods, they were considered strong, their strength being evenly matched, making it difficult to determine a winner for a time. Lin Mo Yu could see that the demon was slightly stronger in actual strength. If the stalemate continued for a long time, the butterfly would be defeated. But this would take a considerable amount of time. The greatest possibility was that they would each leave after fighting for a while. If the battle time was too long, it would attract others, allowing someone to profit. Unless there was a deep-seated hatred, it would be endless. Lin Mo Yu's arrival immediately attracted the attention of the two. After seeing Lin Mo Yu, the butterfly woman's eyes lit up. A friend of the human race, could you help this servant drive away this annoying fellow? The relationship between the human race and the butterfly race was good, belonging to allies. When the human race encountered a crisis in the past, several races had helped the human race, and the butterfly race was one of them. After the human race recovered, the relationship with the butterfly race also became close. Faced with her request, Lin Mo Yu naturally had no reason to refuse. When the demon saw Lin Mo Yu, his expression became even more ferocious. A first-order true god human, laughable, what can he do? You little butterfly, just obediently become my food. That's right, and add this human. Only then did the butterfly woman feel Lin Mo Yu's aura, which was indeed only a first-order true god. Her pretty face changed slightly. A friend of the human race, you should leave quickly, it's dangerous here. Too late. The demon roared, violently throwing a punch towards Lin Mo Yu. A giant fist appeared in the starry sky, pressing towards Lin Mo Yu like a hill. The power of this punch was astonishing, and the starry sky was slightly rumbling. Not to mention a first-order true god, even a 5th or 6th-order true god might be killed on the spot. Careful, the butterfly woman shouted delicately, her wings vibrating, scattering a large amount of starlight. The starlight fell on the fist like a net, reducing the power of the fist by 30%. Useless, this kid is dead. You should worry about yourself. The demon roared, no longer paying attention to Lin Mo Yu. In his opinion, Lin Mo Yu was bound to die. A pure white light suddenly lit up on the demon's body. The whole person instantly stiffened, and then bone fangs and spears hit him, like countless fists falling on him. Although each punch was not heavy, the sum of them still made him feel pain. Immediately afterwards, a red light suddenly appeared on top of his head. A scream resounded through the starry sky, and the demon screamed in pain, curling up and rolling in the starry sky. He looked at Lin Mo Yu hesitantly, seeing that Lin Mo Yu was unharmed. The confident punch not only did not kill Lin Mo Yu as expected, but did not even hurt him. Instead, he suffered Lin Mo Yu's incomparably fierce counterattack. A soul attack. The demon took a pill and threw it into his mouth. A faint light flashed all over his body, all the pain subsided, and he instantly returned to normal. Lin Mo Yu could feel that this pill not only made the soul no longer painful, but also increased the power of the soul's defense, making his soul attack ineffective. The demon's eyes were extremely vicious, staring at Lin Mo Yu. I didn't expect you to have soul attack abilities, it seems you are also a genius among the human race. I like killing geniuses the most, especially the geniuses of the human race. Although the demon suffered a loss, he didn't think Lin Mo Yu would be his opponent. The butterfly clan woman took the opportunity to fly to Lin Mo Yu's side. Human friend, you leave quickly, I will hold him back. The Butterfly Clan woman had a charming appearance, and her voice was as sweet and soft as sugar. She actually had the opportunity to leave earlier, but she didn't, and instead said she would hold him back. Lin Moyu knew that although her cultivation realm was not worse than the demon, she was not at an advantage in battle because she focused on defense. Lin Moyu refused her kindness. Someone of this level can't kill me. Human brat, stop daydreaming, die. The demon roared and pounced towards Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's heart stirred, and a skeleton god general appeared in front of him, directly slashing out with his sword. The majestic sword energy swept across the starry sky, carrying the laws of immortality. The demon race's expression changed drastically, not daring to directly receive the sword energy, and immediately retreated. The skeleton god general followed up as if teleporting, and slashed again. The demon screamed strangely and dodged again. His speed was far inferior to the skeleton god general. The skeleton god general stepped on the halo of the light speed law. The speed reached 30,000 kilometers per second, has far exceeded the limit of true god realm. In the eyes of true god realm, it was like teleportation, like a ghost. Extremely fast speed, coupled with the attack power reaching the 8th order of true god, beat the demon extremely embarrassed. In the starry sky, he only had to escape, and had no power to fight back. Human brat relying on puppets, I remember you, I will definitely kill you next time. The demon had the intention to retreat, put down his harsh words and decided to retreat first. The skeleton god general was too strong, making him helpless. Lin Moyu had no intention of letting him go. You can't escape. In the starry sky, hundreds of skeleton god generals appeared, and had already surrounded him unknowingly. Lin Moyu had let the skeleton god generals surround all sides before he started. Where would he give him a chance to escape? Hundreds of sword energies shot from all directions, cutting off all the demon's possibilities of dodging. Bastard! The demon had no way to avoid it, took out an exquisite magic stone and crushed it fiercely. Several phantoms of hexagonal shields full of spikes appeared around him, blocking all the sword energy. The demon stood in the shield, staring at Lin Moyu with the most vicious gaze, gnashing his teeth. Human brat, remember this. I am a demon race, Spike Demon, today's revenge will be repaid another day. The Butterfly Clan woman sighed softly. This is a magic stone made by the Ghost Shield Demon. It seems to have the defense power of the Peak of True God. It is difficult to break. And he should escape from here through the teleportation magic stone, unable to be tracked. While the Butterfly Clan woman was speaking, the Spike Demon actually took out another magic stone. Lin Moyu chuckled. I said, he can't escape. The law domain opened, gray and white strange stars rose from behind, and the soul body jumped out and appeared under the strange stars. The soul body pointed at the demon. Kill. The soul-severing sword flew out with a whoosh, ignoring the shield, and instantly pierced into the Spike Demon's head. The Spike Demon, who was about to crush the teleportation magic stone, froze on the spot, motionless. After a few breaths, the light in his eyes dimmed, and his life quickly faded. The law domain was put away, and the strange stars also dissipated. The Butterfly Clan woman looked blankly, her expression a little dazed. Is he dead? Lin Moyu nodded, waved his hand, and put away the Spike Demon's body. The Butterfly Clan woman then reacted and bowed to Lin Moyu. Thank you, young master, I thank you. Lin Moyu waved his hand. You're welcome. The human race and the Butterfly Clan are allies, and should help each other. What's more, the human race and the demon race have been mortal enemies for generations, and they must be killed when they meet. The Butterfly Clan woman with a charming smile. In any case, I have to thank you, young master. My name is Shun Diei. Is this young master's first time here? I wonder if there is anything I can help you with. Saying that, she bowed again, appearing extremely polite. The Butterfly Clan speaks softly, looks very gentle, and there are mostly women in the clan, each of whom is extremely beautiful and enjoys a great reputation among all races. Even some people of the human race intermarry with the Butterfly Clan, and the high level of the human race and the Butterfly Clan have not stopped this. Unfortunately, there seems to be some problem with the blood between the two races, and they cannot give birth to offspring. The Butterfly Clan's territory is close to the human race's Azure Dragon Star territory, and has close ties with the Azure Dragon Star territory. The culture of the Azure Dragon Star territory has spread to the Butterfly Clan, deeply loved by the Butterfly Clan. Over the years, imperceptibly, the way the Butterfly Clan speaks has begun to become the same as the human race in the Azure Dragon Star territory, somewhat refined. Lin Moyu asked, have you heard of Luo Fei of the winged race? This time, one of Lin Moyu's goals was to find Luo Fei. Dae tilted her head and thought for a while, then shook her head and said, I haven't heard of it. Does young master want to find him? The winged race seems to have a hostile relationship with the human race. Lin Moyu nodded, that's right. Dae drew a strand of silk from her wings and handed it to Lin Moyu. I am a member of the Starlight Butterfly branch of the Butterfly clan. This is our Starlight Silk. If I know the whereabouts of Luo Fei, I will use the Starlight Silk to inform young master. Lin Moyu was not polite, and directly put away the Starlight Silk. Thank you, Miss Dae. Dae covered her mouth and chuckled. No trouble, no trouble, it should be. I don't know young master's name. Dae should also write it down, to know who helped me. The refined way of speaking is indeed a bit uncomfortable. No wonder Ji Yu Qingzhan doesn't like it. Ji Yu Qingzhan's straightforward character is indeed not suitable for this. But the Butterfly clan's soft and sweet words make people unable to get angry at all. Not to mention getting angry, even getting anxious is impossible. Lin Moyu did not hide it. Human race, Lin Moyu. Dae smiled like a flower, so it's young Master Lin. Dae has remembered it. Then Dae will not disturb young Master Lin. Young Master Lin, be careful in everything. Take care. Take care. Dae was very sensible, did not disturb Lin Moyu too much, just said a few words appropriately and then bid farewell and left. Beautiful wings fluttered gently, scattering a piece of starlight, sending her away. The Butterfly clan is indeed very beautiful, but it is also a sad race. Lin Moyu had read some information about the Butterfly clan, and knew that this race was once more miserable than the human race at a certain time. Chapter 1075. I announce, your life is expired. The firelight jumped in the starry sky, and the spike demon who had just died was quickly reborn in the flames. The slightly pale undead fire, without any temperature, reflected on Lin Moyu's face. Lin Moyu was thinking about some information about the Butterfly clan in his mind. The Butterfly clan is an ally of the human race, and has been for a long time. At that time, the Butterfly clan was still very weak, and the Butterfly clan's territory was not large, most of it bordering the Azure Dragon Star territory, and a small part bordering the Vermilion Bird Star territory. If you look at it from the star map, the Butterfly clan is almost under the protection of the human race, surrounded by the human race's territory for half of it. Because of some characteristics of the Butterfly clan, many races would capture the Butterfly clan, making the Butterfly clan's situation difficult, almost exterminating the clan. The Butterfly clan was too weak at the time, and had no power to protect themselves. Countless clansmen were captured, either kept as beautiful pets for people to play with, or they became items for refining pills and weapons. The wings of the Butterfly clan are excellent materials. For races like this, even if they are not exterminated, the result is often being rounded up like livestock, ready to be slaughtered at any time. Fortunately, the human race took action and protected the Butterfly clan. The human race not only protected the Butterfly clan, but also preached to the Butterfly clan, allowing the Butterfly clan to give birth to strong people, and truly gain a foothold in the great world. The human race had kindness to the Butterfly clan first, and later the human race encountered great disasters and was besieged by hundreds of races, almost exterminating the clan. At that time, the strongest of the Butterfly clan took action to help the human race, which was regarded as repaying the favor. For this reason, the relationship between the human race and the Butterfly clan became closer, and many people of both sides intermarried. Lin Moyu regained his thoughts. The undead flame had been extinguished, and the spike demon who had become a revived person was kneeling in front of him, motionless. Lin Moyu said lightly, hand over the storage equipment, and then go attract more alien races to come. Be careful not to provoke the human race and the human race's allies. Yes. A spike on the spike devil's head fell off, and it immediately turned to leave. This spike was the spike devil's storage device, looking exactly like the other spikes. Lin Moyu didn't see any storage devices on him, never expecting it to be a spike. Lin Moyu held the spike, and his soul power penetrated it, revealing the items inside. It really is that every race has its own characteristics. Just looking at the information is far less rewarding than experiencing it firsthand. Lin Moyu felt that no matter how much information there was, it couldn't compare to taking a trip himself. Reading 10,000 books is not as good as traveling 10,000 miles. After reviewing the items in the spike, there were a full 7 stellar fire essences. With this, he now had 22 stellar fire essences. Only 2 of them were collected by himself, the others were obtained by killing. Looks like there's no need to collect them anymore, it's better to just kill people. With a chuckle, he flew towards the stellar fire essence cluster again. The skeletons silently dispersed, flying in all directions in the darkness. Each skeleton was Lin Moyu's eyes, making it easier for him to find other races. There wouldn't be too few alien races active here, their strength generally around True God rank 7, and it was rare to see True God rank 8. For Lin Moyu, he could completely kill them all the way through. Soon, the skeletons sent information, and he saw the alien race again. This time, he saw the Blue-Eyed Clan, whose members were covered in fine hair and had a pair of small ear-like appendages resembling cats in the human world. Without exception, they all had a pair of blue eyes, hence the name Blue-Eyed Clan. The relationship between the Blue-Eyed Clan and the human race could only be described as ordinary, neither good nor bad. However, they were hostile to the demons. Lin Moyu ignored them and flew past directly. In the great world, the human race has allies and enemies, but more often there are races that are neither friends nor foes. For such races, the human race would not arbitrarily make enemies. The Blue-Eyed Clan was not weak, otherwise they wouldn't dare to be enemies with the demon race. Next, the skeletons kept sending information. There were indeed many races in the Stellar Fire Essence Cluster. And the closer to the Stellar Fire Essence Cluster, the more races there were. Battles broke out constantly, shaking the laws in the starry sky, sending out bursts of fluctuations. Some people fought, some took advantage of the chaos, and some took the opportunity to attack. This area could be said to be extremely chaotic. Suddenly, a skeleton was attacked and instantly killed. The opponent's attack was not strong, but it carried a unique law that caused the skeleton to collapse. Lin Moyu saw the opponent's appearance at the last moment. Not one, but a group. A group of guys whose bodies were covered in gold and iron, and were not large in size. They were curiously looking at the shattered skeleton god warrior. Earth-cleaving clan. Lin Moyu's heart stirred slightly, and he immediately flew over. The Earth-cleaving clan was also an enemy of the human race, and they were best at the law of cracking. The law of cracking belonged to the second tier of laws, with a moderate ranking and considerable power. It is said that when the law of cracking is cultivated to the extreme, it can crack all things in the world. Lin Moyu's skeleton god warrior was the first to experience what is called the law of cracking, and its power was indeed not small. The law directly acted on the inside of the skeleton's body, disintegrating the structure of the skeleton from the inside. If the law of cracking acted on the human body, it would also disintegrate it from the inside. To some extent, it could ignore defense. At the same time, the Earth-cleaving clan liked to act in groups. Lin Moyu had just seen as many as 10 Earth-cleaving clan members. Each of them was a true god rank 7 existence, and their combined combat power was enough to walk sideways in this area. When others saw 10 Earth-cleaving clan members coming, they had to retreat, but Lin Moyu went up to them instead. A trace of excitement appeared in his eyes. For Lin Moyu, this was a big deal. 10 Earth-cleaving clan members, he didn't know how long they had been active here and how much they had gained. But Lin Moyu knew that soon these things would all belong to him. In this area, there was no sympathy, no pity, and no morality. The struggle between races was a matter of life and death, and only fists were the hard truth. Lin Moyu's fists were very big now, so he was the truth. The 10 Earth-cleaving clan members didn't know that they had been targeted by Lin Moyu. They found a stellar fire essence and began to collect it. One person collected it, and the other 9 stood guard. Because the 10 of them acted together, they were unscrupulous. In their minds, they could completely walk sideways in this area. Even if they encountered a true god rank 7 peak powerhouse, they didn't need to be afraid. Not only were there many of them, but the law of cracking was also powerful enough. They unscrupulously collected the stellar fire essence, and other races avoided them from afar when they saw them. There were no alien races around them. Thousands of skeleton god generals silently surrounded them from all directions. Lin Moyu never took things lightly, even if he was betting, he would use his full strength. And just in case, Lin Moyu also rushed over to prevent things like the Spike Devil from happening. If it hadn't been for the soul-slaying sword soul attack, he really wouldn't have been able to keep the Spike Devil. Soon, Lin Moyu's figure appeared in the Earth-cleaving clan member's sight. Seeing Lin Moyu alone, and only a true god rank 1, the 10 earth-cleaving clan members' eyes revealed excitement. Little guy from the human race, you have a lot of guts. You dare to come here even at true god rank 1. I declare, your life is over. Chapter 1076. Top Quality Stellar Fire Essence, Complete Chaos. The voices of the earth-cleaving clan members, like their appearance, were full of metallic taste. Not long ago, he had just heard the butterfly clan's soft and sweet words, and now he heard the voices of the earth-cleaving clan members. There was no harm without comparison. Lin Moyu couldn't help but frown, the voice is really unpleasant. The earth-cleaving clan members were stunned for a moment. They were very strange. Obviously, death was imminent. How could they still have the leisure to pay attention to whether the voice was good or not? Shouldn't they be more afraid? But from Lin Moyu's expression, they didn't see the slightest bit of fear. Is this guy a fool? I heard that there is a kind of person in the human race called a daredevil. Could it be this kind? Maybe, who cares? A true god rank 1, kill him first. Who's going? I'll go. I haven't done anything in a long time. Several earth-cleaving clan members discussed with each other. Lin Moyu didn't say a word, quietly watching them. His heart moved slightly, and the skeleton god generals surrounding him from all directions suddenly accelerated. At a limit speed of 30,000 kilometers per second, thousands of skeleton god generals appeared around them in an instant, like teleporting. Before the Kragskin clan could react, thousands of sword energies had already slashed out. What's that? Where did so many skeletons come from? Heavens, these sword energies. The skeleton god generals acted too fast, and the sword energies instantly engulfed them. As the sword energies swept through, their metal bodies were cut into pieces, floating in the starry sky. 10 Kragskin clan members, who were strong enough to dominate this area, were instantly killed. Too much nonsense, Lin Mo said, flicking out a ball of flame. Within the flames, the 10 Kragskin clan members quickly revived, transforming into reborn, kneeling respectfully before Lin Mo. Hand over your storage equipment. Lin Mo looked down at them, his eyes without joy or sorrow, as if he had only done something insignificant. 10 pieces of metal flew neatly in front of Lin Mo. Half of the Kragskin clan's bodies were made of metal, and their storage space was also inside the metal. Lin Mo's soul power moved slightly, and he immediately took all the things inside for himself. A full 30 stellar essences of fire, Lin Mo couldn't help but reveal a hint of joy. In addition to the stellar essences of fire, there were also many materials. They were from various races, and it could be seen that they had also killed many people from other races. Now he already had 62 stellar essences of fire, which was much more efficient than collecting them himself. Lin Mo asked, "Do you know Luo Fei of the Winged Clan?" "We know him, he's very powerful, and seems to have the battle strength of a true god rank 8. He killed many people and used to appear here, but he's gone now. If he was still here, we wouldn't dare to come." The 10 people spoke one after another, the metal sounds ringing non-stop, causing Lin Mo to frown. Even after becoming reborn, these guys' habit of talking nonsense hasn't changed. Lin Mo said in a low voice, "Shut up, don't talk nonsense. Do you know where he went now?" "It seems he went deeper, to the second stellar essence of fire cluster. That place is dangerous, I don't know why he wants to go. Isn't it because he wants to find top-grade stellar essence of fire? One top-grade stellar essence of fire is worth 1,000 ordinary stellar essences of fire. There's no comparison, top-grade stellar essence of fire and ordinary stellar essence of fire are not the same thing at all, its effect is too great." Again, a bunch of nonsense, Lin Mo frowned. The previous order didn't seem to work. Talking nonsense is these guys' instinct, just like eating and drinking, it's deeply ingrained. From their nonsense, Lin Mo heard unusual information. First, he learned where Luo Fei might have gone, and at the same time, he heard about top-grade stellar essence of fire. Lin Mo asked, "What's so special about top-grade stellar essence of fire?" "The difference is huge. Ordinary stellar essence of fire can be used to enhance stellar power, and in large quantities, it can form new stars. Top-grade stellar essence of fire can be absorbed to improve the fusion of spells." He didn't expect that top-grade stellar essence of fire had this kind of effect, it could improve spell fusion. Lin Mo said in a low voice, "Isn't that similar to the effect of stellar fire seed?" The 10 people immediately said, it's different. Stellar fire seed is a magical treasure born from stars, and its effect is much better than top-grade stellar essence of fire. But stellar fire seeds are too rare, you may never get one in your life. Top-grade stellar essence of fire is different, although it's also rare, at least there's a chance, isn't there? Moreover, if the effect is insufficient, it can be compensated with quantity. As long as there are enough top-grade stellar essences of fire, absorb more, and maybe the effect will be better than stellar fire seed. Lin Mo's heart stirred, he still had some spells that were at the planetary level. Although stellar fire seed was now recovering, there was only one, which was not enough to share. If he could get enough top-grade stellar essence of fire, could he upgrade other planetary spells to the stellar level? The gap between planetary and stellar level was very large, Lin Mo was very clear about this. Stellar spells could carry laws, which was something planetary spells couldn't compare with. What's more, stellar spells could continue to improve, unlike planetary spells, which had reached their limit. Lin Mo knew that he had to go deeper. Whether it was to find Luo Fei or to find top-grade stellar essence of fire, he had to go this trip. Although it was dangerous inside, with his strength, he should be able to protect himself. Now you go and find races that are hostile to the human race, you are not allowed to kill them, beat them seriously and bring them back. Lin Mo thought for a moment and gave them a new order. With the strength of the 10 Kragskin clan members, they were indeed qualified to walk sideways in this area. Only they would provoke others, almost no one dared to provoke them. Lin Mo asked them to target the enemies of the human race, injure them but not kill them and bring them back, and he would definitely make the final cut. In this way, the credit for killing the enemy could be counted on his head. There was no human emperor network coverage here, so this was the only way, it would be a little more troublesome. He didn't plan to collect stellar essence of fire himself anymore, he had already found an easier way, so naturally he wouldn't abandon the near for the far. Lin Mo planned to wait here for a while and clean up the alien races here. Just one day later, 10 Kragskin clan members flew back with a seriously injured demon. A moment later, the Kragskin clan and the demon left separately, and this demon also became a reborn. Lin Mo once again harvested 4.63 stellar essences of fire. There were already as many as 65 stellar essences of fire. The Kragskin clan members were very efficient, and there were almost daily gains, constantly beating the alien races that were hostile to the human race seriously, and then bringing them back for Lin Mo to finish them off. Golden Eagle Clan, Silver Snake Clan, Ironwood Clan. Lin Mo's reborn team was constantly growing. Lin Mo let the reborns, in groups of 5, cooperate with each other to maintain absolute combat power. Soon, a strange phenomenon appeared in this area. Some races that were obviously hostile, united together to attack other races. It would have been understandable if only 10 Kragskin clan members had taken action together. Like the Golden Eagle Clan and the Demon Clan, although they were both enemies of the human race, they were not friendly with each other. Now they joined forces to deal with other races. The area of hundreds of millions of kilometers belonging to the first stellar cluster was completely in chaos. Chapter 1077. Little butterflies collecting honey, sparkling stars appear. Because of Lin Mo's operation, the first stellar essence of fire cluster entered a different state. But because this place was a battlefield, it was originally in a state of disorder, and various races could not form information transmission between them. So the chaotic state only spread among the cultivators of the same race. Among them, the human cultivators felt the deepest. The humans in this area repeatedly saw groups of alien races passing by them. When they were terrified and prepared to fight to the death, these alien races ignored them and quickly flew away. Then a great battle broke out in the distance. From beginning to end, the human race was not affected, and even some races that were friendly to the human race were not affected either. Lin Mo's order was to ignore the human race and the human race's allies, and only target those races that were hostile to the human race. There were even cases of fratricide. There was a demon clan who became a reborn, and met the demon clan again. Why, we are the same clan. What's going on? Why are you joining forces with the enemy? Why are you betraying the race? The demon cried angrily, his voice resounding through the starry sky. 31A. Not only him, but other races also encountered the same problem. They were attacked by their own people, and their own people even joined forces with the enemy. This kind of thing was impossible in the past, but now it has actually happened. The resurrected ones will not have any answers, they will only follow Lin Mo's orders and act accordingly. After becoming a resurrected one, they are no longer part of the demon race. If the resurrected ones did not have a time limit, then they could completely become a new race, the resurrected race. As time passed, Lin Mo's resurrected one army grew larger and larger. 10 days later, the resurrected one army had increased to 100 people. As the number increased, the growth rate of the resurrected one army increased exponentially. 20 days later, the resurrected one army had increased to 500 people. In just 10 days, it had increased fivefold. 500 resurrected ones, dozens of races, all with hatred for the human race. Hundreds of races invaded the human race back then, and nearly half have gathered here. In the first constellation Essence Fire group, almost all races that have hatred for the human race are here. In 20 days, the resurrected one army had swept this area back and forth several times. Those who should be killed were killed, and those who should escape escaped. During this period, the battlefield badge on Lin Mo's waist kept flashing, recording Lin Mo's merits. Every alien race he personally killed would eventually become his reward. The constellation Essence Fire in his hand had broken the 4-digit mark, a full 1356 constellation Essence Fires. One Starfire Jade bottle could no longer hold it, and Lin Mo had to use alien artifacts to store the constellation Essence Fire. No matter how fast he collected, it was impossible to collect thousands of constellation Essence Fires in just 20 days, there was nothing faster than this harvest. It's time to go to the second constellation Essence Fire group. Lin Mo gave an order, letting the skeletons lead the way in front, the resurrected one army followed closely behind, and he followed far behind tens of thousands of kilometers away, heading towards the second constellation Essence Fire group. Some alien races who escaped from the first constellation Essence Fire group all looked surprised. They all felt that their previous experiences were a bit mysterious and unbelievable. They had never seen various races act together, and some races were still hostile. This situation completely subverted their understanding. Something abnormal must be happening, and they realized that something was not normal, and they all sent the news back to their clans. But they couldn't explain the matter clearly, after all, they had never seen Lin Mo and didn't know what had happened. In the first constellation Essence Fire group, DAE was leisurely collecting constellation Essence Fire. The Starlight Law intertwined in the starry sky. Although the butterfly race's attack was not strong, their defense was very good. In the Starlight Law, even the Shadow race could not sneak attack her. DAE was obviously a little absent-minded, and her eyes were also slightly distracted, obviously thinking about other things. 2 days ago, she saw the Spike Demon again. She was shocked at the time. The Spike Demon was clearly killed, she saw it with her own eyes, how could he be alive again? Moreover, the Spike Demon was with other races, and flew past her not far away, completely ignoring her. She mustered her courage at the time and secretly followed behind, and as a result, she saw an amazing scene. The Spike Demon and several other race experts joined forces to attack a demon. They severely injured the True God 7th Order demon and took him away. DAE continued to follow, and finally saw the skeleton. Seeing the skeleton, DAE knew it was Lin Mo. She also received information from her clan, knowing that some unusual things had happened here recently. At that time, she truly understood that Lin Mo was behind this matter. However, DAE was very smart, she kept her mouth shut and did not say anything about it. But she became more and more curious about Lin Mo in her heart. Lin Mo, what kind of person are you after all? DAE muttered, a smile appearing on her beautiful face. After collecting the constellation Essence Fire in front of her, she flapped her beautiful butterfly wings and flew towards another constellation Essence Fire. Faintly, she also hummed an unknown song, accompanied by the sound of the soul, floating in the starry sky. That appearance was very much like a little butterfly picking honey in the flowers. After flying hundreds of millions of kilometers, Lin Mo once again felt as if he had broken through a layer of separation and entered another space. He knew that he had left the range covered by the first constellation Essence Fire group and re-entered the airspace of Battlefield 5-38. Within the range covered by the constellation Essence Fire group, there were no dark stars. In addition to paying attention to alien races, there was almost no danger to speak of. But from now on, dark stars would appear, and the frequency would be higher and the speed would be faster than before. This was the 10 billion kilometer journey from the first constellation Essence Fire group to the second constellation Essence Fire group, and it would take 4 days to fly at full speed. If the interference of dark stars was taken into account, this time would be extended. At the same time, Lin Mo had to pay attention to alien races. This area did not mean that there were no alien races. 290 Moreover, without the suppression of the laws of the Great World, he might encounter alien races in the God King realm, which would be even more dangerous. Lin Mo scattered the skeletons. With the skeletons there, it would be difficult for alien races to sneak attack him. At the same time, he could discover dark stars early, and passing through this 10 billion kilometer area would not be a problem. The starry sky was extremely quiet, without a sound. Only the light speed law halo raised a faint light. The first day was safe and sound, and everything seemed very calm. Lin Mo traveled at full speed, flying at a speed of 30,000 kilometers per second, flying 2.5 billion kilometers. But on the second day, 5 resurrected ones suddenly died. Lin Mo was shocked. The 5 resurrected ones who died were about 300,000 kilometers away from him. The 5 of them were in a group, and all had the strength of the true God 7th order. They died silently like this. There were several skeletons nearby. With the help of the skeletons' vision, Lin Mo saw a dark star with a diameter of thousands of kilometers. This dark star appeared suddenly, as if it was passing by, crashing into 5 resurrected ones and killing them, then flew towards the other side and disappeared. Dark star. Lin Mo frowned. The appearance of the dark star was too abrupt. Moreover, the way it disappeared was also very strange, as if it had fallen into the water, entered another space, and disappeared instantly. When Lin Mo first arrived at the battlefield, he had encountered a similar dark star. This was the second one. Dark stars that appear and disappear in this way are called flash stars. Its trajectory cannot be predicted and depends entirely on luck. Chapter 1078. Failed sneak attack, but chased and killed. Through the alien resurrected ones, Lin Mo obtained a lot of information. In addition to the first and second constellation essence fire groups, there is a third constellation essence fire group deeper in. As for whether there is a fourth or fifth, Lin Mo speculated that there were. It's just that the difficulty is too high, and few people can enter. The second constellation essence fire group alone is already very dangerous. First, you have to pass through the 10 billion kilometer starry sky where dark stars appear before you can arrive. On the way, there will be flash stars appearing, silently, killing people. Moreover, in the second constellation essence fire group, there are flash fires that are the same as flash stars, which are also deadly. In addition, you must always be on guard against sneak attacks and assassinations by alien races. With the combination of 3 dangers, if you don't have the strength of the true God 8th order, it is basically impossible to reach the second constellation essence fire group. In the second constellation essence fire group, there is a very low probability of appearing supreme constellation essence fire, which can be used to improve the fusion of spells and is a rare treasure. Outside the second constellation essence fire group, continue to go deeper by 10 billion kilometers, which is where the third constellation essence fire group is located. That area belongs to the realm of True God rank 9 and even True God peak experts. Starlight and starfire are denser and more frequent, significantly increasing the level of danger. But likewise, the probability of finding top-grade stellar essence fire increases significantly. Based on this deduction, Lin Mo felt that there should be a 4th stellar essence fire cluster. It's estimated that one would need the strength of a God King realm to reach it. But every stellar essence fire cluster has a common characteristic: the realm of all who enter is suppressed to the true God realm. If a God King comes, their cultivation would only be at true God rank 9. Therefore, the ability to fight across realms is required. But this is not a problem for Lin Mo, his true realm is only at true God rank 1. What is suppressed is only the realm, not the actual combat strength. In other words, if a God King enters the area shrouded by stellar essence fire, he is fully confident in annihilating them, and without too much effort. Unless that God King also possesses the strength to fight across realms. This place is very suitable for me, Lin Mo said softly, continuing to fly towards the second stellar essence fire cluster. Traces of aura diffused, and Lin Mo felt that his understanding of the laws had deepened again, and his strength seemed to have improved a bit. This is the effect of the battlefield. The entire battlefield is shrouded in a strange power, which is very helpful for breakthroughs. That's why so many people come here seeking breakthroughs. Lin Mo has been here for nearly 50 days, his realm has loosened, and his strength has slightly improved. Even if he doesn't cultivate, as long as another year and a half passes, it will be enough to raise his realm to true god rank 2. As for why this is the case, Lin Mo is not very clear. There are still too many things in the great world that he cannot understand. As he got closer and closer to the second stellar essence fire cluster, the appearance of dark stars obviously became denser, and starlight also occurred from time to time. Sometimes, dark stars suddenly flashed into existence not far away, brushing past Lin Mo's team. Sometimes, they collided head-on, appearing too abruptly, leaving no time to dodge. Skeletons collapsed, and the resurrected ones died on the spot. Starlight appeared frequently, which was very dangerous. A true god rank 7 colliding with it would result in certain death. A true god rank 8 might still have a chance to survive. Even Lin Mo, in this 100 billion kilometer area, had to pay some price. When the brilliant firelight appeared in sight, the original number of resurrected, which was over 500, was reduced to less than 200. The team's size was too large, which also had disadvantages. The frequency of being hit by starlight also increased accordingly. When there was still 100 million kilometers left to the stellar essence fire cluster, Lin Mo once again felt the change in space, as well as the fluctuations of the great world's laws. After 4 days of continuous flight, they finally entered the second stellar essence fire cluster. Here, dark stars disappeared, and there would be no starlight appearing. However, starlight turned into the more dangerous starfire. The flickering stellar essence fire was enough to burn a true god rank 8 into ashes. It appeared and disappeared unpredictably here, bringing death. Lin Mo entered it, his eyes swept around, and he said loudly, "Come out, stop hiding." He was not only looking with his own eyes, but also with the eyes of the skeletons. From the undead's perspective, the hidden alien races had nowhere to hide. In a place less than 20,000 kilometers away, a black shadow was shrinking there. It had no aura, and was integrated with the surrounding environment, making it impossible to see. But in the undead's perspective, there was still a flame of soul on its body, which was extremely obvious. Lin Mo's voice was transmitted through soul transmission. It could be clearly heard within a range of 100,000 kilometers. But the other party remained motionless, as if they hadn't heard it. Lin Mo smiled indifferently. "You think I'm talking nonsense, right? Since you're not moving, then don't move." The skeleton god general stepped on the lightspeed law halo, and came to the other party's side as if teleporting, and slashed out with a sword. The majestic sword energy cut through the starry sky. The black shadow finally moved, and accompanied by a strange cry, the whole person shot out violently, pouncing towards Lin Mo. At the same time, a beam of light shot out like a sharp arrow. Lin Mo chuckled, and the resurrected appeared in front of him, blocking the opponent's attack. The light was extremely powerful, penetrating a full 4 resurrected before dissipating. The resurrected who were hit by the light exploded on the spot, their bodies burning with raging flames, instantly turning into ashes, and their souls dissipating. Flame Burst Law. Lin Mo recognized at a glance that the opponent's attack contained the Flame Burst Law. The Flame Burst Law belonged to the Fire series of laws, and its power was enormous, belonging to the upper class in the second echelon of laws. The resurrected were not afraid of death at all, and immediately fought back. All kinds of attacks were launched: Stellar Light Law, Frost Law, Star Shattering Law. The laws rumbled, rendering the starry sky into a colorful spectacle. The other party was obviously taken aback, and did not dare to take it head-on, and retreated violently. The skeleton god general once again killed, the undying law rolled, and slashed out a strong sword energy. The other party was very fast, and dodged again. Lin Mo was now somewhat nostalgic for the Skeleton King's star-shattering skill. The biggest advantage of this skill was that it could not be dodged. It was a pity that the Skeleton King was only a planetary-level art, and could not integrate the power of stellar-level skeletons. As long as he didn't become stellar-level for a day, this art would be useless and could not be used. Lin Mo had once thought that if he had the chance, he would definitely upgrade Summon Skeleton King to stellar level. Maybe at that time, it could be combined with other stellar-level summoning arts, turning into a 9-star art system. Multi-star arts. For every additional star, the power could be greatly increased. Lin Mo had already, of kings, truly felt the benefits brought by multi-star arts. He was only at true god rank 1, the weakest skeleton was equivalent to true god rank 5, easily completing battles across ranks. Of course, one of the reasons for being so powerful was because of the talent bonus. However, multi-star arts also played a key role in it. Under the pursuit of the skeleton god general and the resurrected, the other party finally revealed its true appearance. Its body suddenly grew larger, turning into a giant python thousands of meters long. Its body was covered with scales, and the scales were even emitting sparks, like a fire python. A 1/4 starfire python. Lin Mo recognized this race. In the myriad races of the great world, it could only be considered a middle to upper race. The starfire python's individual strength was not weak, and there were also strong people in the clan. The problem was that there were not many clan members and their reproductive ability was poor. He didn't expect to encounter one here. It was hiding here, probably wanting to ambush people who came in. It just didn't expect that it would be discovered by him. The ambush failed, and instead it was hunted down. Chapter 1079. Soul manifestation is strong, but has weaknesses. With the lightspeed law halo on his body, the speed of the skeleton god general and the resurrected was astonishingly fast. No matter how the starfire python tried, it couldn't shake them off, and they were tight like 1/4 cha-en, entangled wrapped on. The starfire python, possessing the strength of true god rank 8, was much stronger than the resurrected, but compared to the skeleton god general, it was only on par. At this time, there were nearly 200 resurrected and dozens of skeleton god generals pursuing it, and the starfire python had no chance to fight back. It could only desperately flee and dodge, but the space for dodging was rapidly shrinking. The skeleton god generals silently completed the encirclement. Lin Mo already saw that the starfire serpent intended to retreat and escape. Unfortunately, it ran into him, and there was no reason to let it go. "Human friend, let me go, I can pay the price," the starfire serpent's voice echoed in Lin Mo's ears. Knowing it couldn't win and would lose its life if it continued fighting, the starfire serpent began to beg for mercy. If the situation were reversed, the outcome would probably be different. The starfire serpent's cruelty was somewhat notorious in the great world. Lin Mo's voice was calm and indifferent. "Since you're here, make yourself at home." The starfire serpent's heart sank. "Human, you will cause a racial conflict. We starfire serpents and you humans are not enemies." Lin Mo said lightly, "Although not blood enemies, there is still quite a bit of hatred. Over the years, no small number of humans have died in your mouths. It's useless to say more, you should stay here peacefully." The starfire serpent's heart sank. Lin Mo's tone was so indifferent, as if he already regarded it as a dead serpent. At the same time, anger rose in its heart, and it roared, "Do you really think the starfire serpent race is easy to bully?" Accompanied by a piercing howl, the starry sky for tens of thousands of miles was suddenly enveloped in flames. The starfire serpent opened its law domain. With the strength of a rank 8 true god, the law domain was extremely powerful. Lin Mo also opened his law domain to fight against it. Although there was a significant difference in realm and cultivation, Lin Mo's undying law was a top-tier law. In addition, with the bonus of the law of slaughter, Lin Mo's law domain was extremely powerful, far exceeding the same level. When confronting the starfire serpent's explosive flame law domain, it was only slightly at a disadvantage. "Impossible!" The starfire serpent let out an unbelievable roar. How could a rank 1 true god's law domain compete with its own law domain? The starfire serpent's law domain covered the starry sky for tens of thousands of miles, while Lin Mo's law domain was only 100,000 meters. However, the starfire serpent's seemingly powerful explosive flame law domain could not overwhelm Lin Mo's law domain. "What law is this? Why is it so strong?" Lin Mo said lightly, "You'll know if you try." With a light tap of his finger, hundreds of skeleton god generals appeared again in the starry sky, wielding their sharp swords and rushing towards the starfire serpent. The skeleton god generals had law dragons wrapped around them, charging into the explosive flame law domain and launching a fierce attack. Also, where did so many puppets come from? The starfire serpent screamed strangely, retreating frantically, while its law domain began to shrink, quickly shrinking into a fireball with a diameter of only 100 meters. A smaller starfire serpent flew out of the fireball. The starfire serpent's soul absorbed the law domain, refining the law domain into its soul. Using the law domain as flesh and blood, using the law domain as armor and shield, as a sharp sword. Making the originally fragile soul extremely powerful, turning the illusory soul into a physical entity, realizing soul manifestation. Soul manifestation is the most powerful attack method in the true god realm. The soul contains the law domain, using the soul to contain the law, manipulating the law, greatly increasing the power of the law. In addition to powerful attacks, soul manifestation is also the foundation for cultivating the soul law domain in the God-King realm. If even soul manifestation cannot be achieved, then it will be impossible to achieve the soul law domain when reaching the God-King realm. Lin Mo had seen soul manifestation before. On the human emperor arena, Zhuangbai had once displayed his soul manifestation. Although soul manifestation was strong, it was not enough to make Lin Mo feel afraid. Die! The starfire serpent roared, its soul flying towards Lin Mo like lightning. Wherever the soul went, the starry sky exploded, and the explosive flame law detonated a large area of the starry sky, and the skeleton god generals were blown away. The bones were broken, almost shattered. The resurrected were destroyed and turned to ashes, and 1/3 died instantly. Using the soul to manipulate the law, at least increasing the power of the law by 50%. Lin Mo's eyes remained unchanged, still indifferent and calm, and slowly raised his finger. Do you know? Soul manifestation only has no flaws when it is fully completed. You have only initially completed soul manifestation. It seems powerful, but there are many problems, and they are fatal. The starfire serpent didn't react for a moment when it heard Lin Mo's voice. At this time, red light lit up in its eyes, and coldness rose from the depths of its soul, feeling a fatal danger. But it was too late. Fusion art, curse of time, stellar art, undead gaze. Under the double soul attack, the starfire serpent suddenly burst into a scream. Feeling its soul being torn apart, the soul garment appeared on its soul, and the law domain also emerged. The soul garment was shattered under the attack, and the law domain failed to completely cover the soul, leaving many loopholes. These loopholes were fatal. Lin Mo said lightly, "Don't leave your body until soul manifestation is completely successful." Without the protection of the body and the soul world, the soul is extremely fragile in reality. You don't even understand this principle, you deserve this calamity. Lin Mo said softly. These words seemed like killing words, plunging the starfire serpent into an bottomless abyss. It roared frantically, and the law domain boiled, detonating the starry sky again. The firelight boiled, and the starfire serpent's soul, with heavy injuries, fled back to its body in extreme embarrassment. The soul was not fully manifested, and there were loopholes in the protection of the law domain, but it happened to encounter Lin Mo, a guy with extremely strong soul attack power. It can only be said that it was a series of misfortunes. The unlucky mother opened the door for the unlucky, and it was unlucky to the extreme. If the starfire serpent had another choice, it would never do this. It's not like this to deliver a head. The soul fled back to the body, and before it could react, the sword energy of the skeleton god sword had already arrived. The sword energy was mixed with the undying law, with terrifying corrosiveness. Arts carry the law. As a top-tier law, the attack power of the undying law is many levels higher than that of the explosive fire law. The undying law invaded the body, and the firelight on the starfire serpent was rapidly extinguished. The starfire serpent screamed incessantly. The pain of the soul and the pain of the body made it roll frantically in the starry sky. The scales on the starfire serpent's body were very strong, and the attack power of the skeleton god general reached the 8th rank of the true god. One attack could not kill it. Although it was still alive for the time being, it was only a matter of time before it was killed. Having suffered such a heavy blow to its soul, even if it barely survived, it would be difficult to go further in the future. Soul injuries are very difficult to heal. The Starfire Serpent clan will not let you go. You wait for our revenge, we will kill millions, tens of millions of humans, destroy your life star systems, and make you pay the price. Knowing that it was doomed to die, the Starfire Serpent shouted frantically, with no more scruples. Lin Mo's voice turned cold. You can come to me for revenge. If you dare to retaliate against the human race, I will destroy the Starfire Serpent clan. Just you, a rank 1 true god, dare to be so arrogant. The Starfire Serpent laughed frantically. It was already dying, and it had no more worries. Lin Mo's voice carried murderous intent. That's right, I am only a rank 1 true god now, but I can kill you. As soon as these words came out, the Starfire Serpent trembled all over, and a strong chill rose. Fear finally appeared in the crazy snake eyes. Chapter 1008. Starfire Serpent God Lord, you can't kill me. Lin Mo was right, he was only a rank 1 true god. The most terrifying thing was precisely this, he was only a rank 1 true god. A rank 1 true god can reverse kill a rank 8 true god, and his combat power can be called heaven-defying. If one day, Lin Moi's realm reaches the god realm, or even stronger. If he can still maintain this ability to fight beyond his level, then I ask, who in the same level is still his opponent? The Starfire Python finally understood before its death how terrifying Lin Moi was. Why do all races try to eliminate the geniuses of opposing races by all means? It is not more terrible to have a god, but it is terrible to have a genius who is clearly a god, but has the power to surpass the gods. The Starfire Python died in fear, and its body was finally cut into pieces by the skeleton god general. Lin Moi stretched out his hand to lead, and the 1,000-meter body of the Starfire Python flew to the front. With a move of his mind, the skeleton god general began to dismember the corpse with his sword. The scales on the Starfire Python contain the blazing flame law and are a good material. Although some of them were damaged in the battle, a lot can still be collected. The flesh and blood of the Starfire Python also contain the power of the law, and the taste is delicious. Chu Shang, that foodie, once gave Lin Moi a list, which listed some alien races that could be used as food. The Starfire Python is one of them. Lin Moi also promised him that if he had the opportunity to meet him, he would bring some back for him to enjoy. Chu Shang's two greatest hobbies in his life are food and wine. Finally, the skeleton god general found the python pill. The python pill is somewhat similar to the Dragon Ball of the Dragon Clan. It is the essence of the Starfire Python and also a storage device. The Starfire Python is dead, and the python pill has become an unowned object. With a slight movement of soul power, Lin Moi wanted to open the python pill like opening other storage devices. But as soon as the soul power touched the python pill, a brilliant light suddenly rose. A huge Starfire Python phantom appeared in the starry sky. The Starfire Python phantom was so large that it was at least 1,000,000 meters long, entrenched in the starry sky, exuding a terrifying aura. God! Lin Moi was shocked. The vast aura of the god has locked him, and at the same time, the star-like python eyes are staring at him. A deafening voice rang out, "Bold Terran, dare to kill the descendants of this deity, you deserve to die." Lin Moi's mind was greatly shaken. He didn't expect that he was still a descendant of the god, and he also left a mark of the god on the python pill. Starfire pythons have difficulty reproducing, and there are not many people. And it is still a descendant of the god. Lin Moi knows that this trouble is probably big, and the current level is not easy. Even if it is only a projection of the god, it has at least the power of the God King realm, and it is far more than the first level of the God King. He can't stop himself anyway. Lin Moi's thoughts were like electricity, thinking about how to solve the inevitable death situation in front of him. But after thinking about it, Lin Moi suddenly became relaxed again. This is the area of the second star essence fire group. Under the shroud of the Great World Law, all entrance will be suppressed to the level of true gods. Even if it is a god, it is no exception, let alone just a projection. Even if the real body comes, it can only reach the peak of the true god. The soul law field of the God King, the law manifestation of the god, don't even think about using it. At best, it is a true god peak with the body of a god. Perhaps it can exert combat power beyond the true god realm, even a genius god can fight across the border, but at most it is the first or second level of the God King. What's more, the current is just a projection. How much power can be exerted, it is really hard to say. Thinking of this, Lin Moi was no longer worried. He knew that the near-god projection in front of him could not kill him. Lin Moi said lightly, "He came to provoke me first, and as a result, I killed him, God." Before Lin Moi finished speaking, the Starfire Python had interrupted him. "Shut up, this deity's descendants want to kill you, that is your honor, you should stand there and be killed by it." God is very unreasonable, and his eyes are full of anger. Lin Moi chuckled, "You misunderstood, I mean, he is too weak, he deserves to die. I not only killed him, but also took his scales and took his meat. I heard that the meat of the Starfire Python is very delicious. I don't know if it is true. When I go back, I will find the best chef and make hundreds of styles of dishes. If God is interested, you can come to the Terran to taste it then." Lin Moi's words were unceremonious. Since he had already killed the descendants of the god, he had already offended him to death, so he continued to offend him to death. "Boy, this deity wants you to be wiped out." God roared, and a ray of light shot out from his eyes. The light contained amazing blazing flame laws, detonating the starry sky. The starry sky roared, but strangely, the power of the light dropped sharply as soon as it shot out. In a blink of an eye, it dropped to the true god realm. The skeleton god general stood in front of Lin Moi, using his body as a shield to block the attack of the god. Dozens of skeleton gods will be blown into pieces, but the attack of the god will also be completely blocked, and Lin Moi is unharmed. The Starfire Python god was stunned on the spot. What's going on? Lin Moi chuckled. Think about it slowly. How long can your projection last? Do you want me to talk to you again, free of charge? It narrowed its eyes and launched another attack. More skeleton gods will come over and act as Lin Moi's shield. The Starfire Python god is only a projection, and the time it can maintain is very limited. Especially after the previous attack, the duration of maintenance has been greatly shortened, and the body has become illusory. Lin Moi shook his head gently. It's useless, you can't kill me. The Starfire Python god looked around and saw the Star Essence Fire group in the distance, and immediately understood, it's actually in the Star Essence Fire group, no wonder. Then he turned his head to look at Lin Moi again. Boy, this deity already knows where you are, unless you don't leave the Star Essence Fire group in this life, otherwise this deity will definitely smash you to ashes. 0. Lin Moi was not worried at all. I'm going back now. If you want to find me, come to the Terran territory. The Starfire Python god sneered, you can't escape. Saying that, it turned into a brilliant streamer, passed over the body of the skeleton god general, and instantly landed on Lin Moi. Outside Lin Moi's soul world, a soul imprint appeared. The soul imprint was like the appearance of a Starfire Python, staring at Lin Moi coldly. Another mark. Lin Moi was a little speechless. These powerhouses in the great world like to leave marks on people. The previous starry sky giant tree was like this, the demon race was like this, and the current Starfire Python is also like this. The Starfire Python god planted a soul mark on himself, and he can easily find himself through the mark. How big is the sensing range of the god? It is estimated to be more than 100 light years. As long as he is still here, he can't escape. Lin Moi sighed, what a pity. In the soul world, the branches of the talent giant tree swayed violently and pierced into the soul imprint. The soul power in the soul imprint was immediately absorbed by the talent giant tree, and then refined by the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, turning it into the purest soul power and injecting it into Lin Moi's soul body. After all, it is a mark from the god, pure and powerful, and contains the power of the god, and the quality is extremely high. After being refined by the 9-colored dragon soul crystal, it has become an unowned object. Lin Moi's soul absorbed its power, and the soul suddenly strengthened. Almost in the blink of an eye, the quality of Lin Moi's soul improved a lot again, and the cultivation level was promoted.